Hey, you guys, welcome back to another video. I'm sorry for the glare. This video, I promise you, it won't go too long. At least I don't think it will. But I had received a email a few days ago, and I told myself I would do a video about this because I think it's very important for those that's looking to get the outsourcing, hiring out, or just overall just building a business team, a team period. Because eventually you will have to have a team. So I got asked a question, Fabio, how do I find the people? Fabio, who should I hire? How do I get people to align with me when I don't have any money? So I get asked these type of questions all the time on how to build a business team. And there's no real concrete answer, and that's why I put the Fabio way as part of the title, because you could talk to 100 people and all 100 people would give you different ways that you should build a team. But me, as you guys know, I'm the type of guy I like to build on just uh, low cost effective ways on doing anything, whether it's advertising, marketing, branding, whatever the case is. I like to find the least amount of the least I like to find the least way to build my team or build anything, business, whatever. If I'm going to build a business, I want to start from the ground up, opposed to having any angel investors or hard money lenders or bankers or anything of that sort. I just never really been the type of guy that really wanted to owe anybody in the long run, because I understand that eventually you have to pay them back, and you have to pay them back with the ROI, which is a return on investment. Um, it, and some people aren't too confident. Some people are not that confident that they can even set up a business and just make it and turn it profitable, let alone run their business to the point where they make a return on their investment. Okay, so, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The way I started things, when I first started, I'm gonna kind of take it back some. When I first started my business back in 2012, as you know, it was me against the world, right? I had to wear all of the hats. I was the marketer, I was the cleaner, I was everything, right? So as I started making money, I just started looking outside of my immediate circle, which was me, right? In the very beginning, I was very protective of my business because um, I understood that the hard part was to really develop it and really turn it into a concrete business. Okay, so um, I wanted to make sure that I paid attention to every sector, every part of the business. I wanted to know what this meant, what that legal term meant, what that business term meant. So I was the one, if I didn't know something, I would run right to Google or to the dictionary. I would try to figure it out early on. A lot of times where, in much respect, a lot of you guys that ask me questions is cool, but had this been me back, in my day, a lot of times I wouldn't have asked any question. I would have kind of did research to see if I could kind of figure it out. Because even when somebody tell you something, like even when I tell you something, you do want to fact check it to essentially make sure that what I'm telling you is this, the truth, right? You want to make sure that you're not being misled anyway. Okay, and that's even with me when I tell you something. Now I'm not gonna get on here and tell you what I don't know. If I don't know something, I'll be the first to let you know I don't know something. But at the end of the day, like I said, you want to start small. Okay, since you have to wear all of the hats in the beginning, it's going to be a struggle. Your determination, being tenacious, being assertive, right, paying attention to every part of your business, and from the startup process all the way down to the marketing, to the delivering of product or delivering of service. Whether you have to drive around, whatever, brick and mortar store, like you have to do everything, right? So when I think the first thing that I got was a banker, and that's because I had already had a bank account. Okay, now when I went to register my or start up my business checking account, right? Back in 2012, when I went to start up that account, well, the bank that I wanted to start my account up with They wasn't really user friendly in terms of with business. Now I had used them for personal, which is who I still use today. It's a credit union. I use them for personal, so I say, well, since I use them for personal, I'm going to go ahead and use them for business, right? I'm going to just keep everything in house. Well, it didn't really turn out that way because the program that they had at the time where they were asking for X amount of dollars to start up that I really did not have. They had all these different stipulations. If you didn't keep this amount in the account, you were going to be charged this, payment and this, that, and the third. Anyway, my banker, the lady that I, go to for my personal account, she had a connection with another ATM company, like another ATM, another credit union company. I'm sorry. So what she suggested was I go over and talk to somebody at another credit union. So that's what I did. I went over, talked to that person, explained, that I have a business. I need to set up a business checking account. Anyway, the long story short is that's pretty much how I started building my team. I worked from what I already had, and I would suggest you guys to do the same, to work from what you already have. Like if you have a auntie or you have an uncle and they're in finance or they're in law or they're in whatever, right? I would ask that you ask them for assistance initially, right? Because they're closer to you and you would think that they wouldn't, mislead you. They'd point you in the right direction. Now, if you don't have anybody like that in your family, you can still ask around to professional people in your family. Just because you don't have anybody professional in your family don't mean they don't know anybody that can assist you. Okay? And that's another way to start building your team, through connections. Okay? Through connections. I feel like you should start there first because it's all, to me, it's always better to start with somebody that's a little bit closer to you, even if it's not family. If it's a friend of the family, a family business associate or something like that, just start with those people because you have that kind of connection, opposed to looking out from somebody from the outside, right? Just somebody totally off the cuff that you don't know. Okay, so that's what I would suggest. And I did the same thing with lawyers and accountants and stuff like that. Well, I didn't have access to those type of people, so what I started doing, I started looking up, let's say, lawyers. So I would type up in the search engine, Google. I would type up business lawyers. Okay, so over my business time, being in business, I actually ran through two lawyers. I had two different lawyers. Okay, because it started becoming a conflict of interest. Now, in my mind, because and this is what I think you guys should do, because if when you don't know something, you just don't know it. So I mean, the ideas that you have, like, to you it sounds legit, it sounds like it's something that's doable, but it might not necessarily be something legal, it might not necessarily be something that you really can do, but it sounds right in your head. Let's take my contract for an example, and I'm gonna get back to topic. Just since we're on topic, when I got my lawyer, before I went through my contract like 6 times. In other words, I had six revisions of my contract, right? So up until this point to the contract that I have now, right? So what happened was I had these ideas of what I wanted my contract to say, right? But I would say it to him in, I guess, layman's terms, right? I would break it down. He will understand it, and what I would want him to do is turn it from layman's terms and turn it to professional terms, right? I would want him to turn this contract into what I wanted it to say, but I wanted to read professionally. Okay, so what happened was a lot of the stuff that I wanted done in the contract legally in my state, you weren't really able to do. But this is just how my mind is. This is how my mind runs, right? So, hey, I didn't get your notification. What up, bro? Hey, how's it going? You got to hit the bell. That way, where it looks like it's ringing, you'll get the notification to text your phone. When you subscribe, you know how you press subscribe. You just hit the bell again, and it's going to look like it's ringing, and then you'll be able to get the notifications when I go live. But, so that's, like I say, let's take the contract. So, I would tell my lawyer, okay. Oh, it was, okay, I don't know what. Okay, so I would tell my lawyer, what I would want the contract to read or how I would want the contract to read, and I would hope or use him to turn it into a legal structure for me, a legal document. Okay, because wording it the way that I would say it would probably be cheesy or unprofessional, right? So that's how you have to do when you start building your team, you guys. You have to do the same exact thing when you build your team, because when you don't know something, you just kind of ask around. But start, like, for an example, you guys might work with someone, right? And you don't necessarily have to tell them you started a business. You might work in a professional setting. You might be friends with, a few people in that particular office or that particular building, and you can just kind of ask around, like, hey, do you know any good lawyers? Maybe excuse me, somebody that you talk to regularly. Do you know a good business lawyer? Do you know a good an accountant? Do you kind of ask around. Even within your, like I said, your family, you can ask around if you know anybody that's professional in your family that works in, the hospital, doctor's offices, or anything like that, right? You can ask around within your family and see if somebody in your family knows somebody that'll be able to assist you. Your mom, your dad. You can ask your mom if your mom have a lawyer or have a accountant, or if your mom have a uh, you know uh, whatever, right? You can ask around. Okay, the doctors and this, that, and the third. Anybody professional. Okay, and then let them refer you to certain people, and you can always drip off of your mom name, your auntie name, your uncle name, or whoever, right? Because they have that close relationship with that particular person that they sent you to. Again, that's how I would suggest that you, like, start your team. Next up is, now you have to set up how you're going to pay them. Is it going to be like a retainer, which is something that you're going to pay ongoing month after month, right? Or are you going to just do it per job? Now, in the beginning, I would suggest that you guys set something up. And again, it's all about talking, it's all about presentation, okay? You got to utilize every situation. Agreement, let's send you the picture of the agreement. Could have see what happened. Come by the agreement, Fabio. I sent you a picture so you could have see what happened. Well, if you sent the picture, I probably still have it. Okay, so what I'll do following this live, I'll take a look at it and I'll reach out to you. If it's not too late tonight, tomorrow I'll take a look at what you have and then correspond with you tomorrow, if that's fine. But again, that's how you guys want to do it. You want to start from the inside, right? Whether it's your home, whether it's some church members who you go to church with, whether it's somebody that you work with, right? And this is how you build your team. Start from within first. Now, like I say, with me, it was just completely me in the very, very beginning, right? And I didn't really want to utilize my family in terms of finding people that, that I might need help, because I had the type of family that feel like if they help you, they feel like you owe them something at the end of the day, right? So I didn't want to really use my family, because I didn't want them to say, well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have a banker. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have an accountant, right? So I just used who I knew, like for an example, for my bank, right? So I used my banker that I already had, but because I didn't like the program that they was running at my particular credit union for my personal account, I asked my banker if they had any affiliate companies or any affiliate, banks or credit unions, I should say, that they work with, to help me so I could set up my business checking account. So that's really how I got my business checking account. So right now, to this day, I still use the same banks. I have the same one for my personal, and then I have a different credit union for my business checking. Okay. The same thing I did with credit cards, to be able to accept credit cards. Same thing I did with my accountant. Okay. But I use everybody, I deal with everybody individually. Okay. So if it was a contract base and they say, well, the only way I operate is this, I would figure out how they operate first. And then I would just kind of talk to them, give them my ideas and say, well, can you do this? Okay, I know you say you can't do that, but can you do this? Okay, if they say, well, we got to pay us a retainer. You got to do a retainer every single month. Well, if you don't have those funds, then how in the hell are you going to pay that retainer every month, right? Because you're just starting out. Now, in the beginning, like I said, in the very, very beginning, you guys won't need like lawyers and stuff like that, right? But eventually you will need that. You should have a business lawyer on deck that you can call, okay? And they don't necessarily have to be on a retainer. You can pay them per job, just as you would do your accountant, or let's just take H&R Block. Hey, what's up? What's up, you? Let's just take H&R Block. If you're just joining me, I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, I'm talking about how to build your team for branding, your team for marketing, your team for business, period. I got asked that question because a lot of people say that they're struggling right now trying to build a team. It's just them. It's a lot of pressure. They have kids. They have a job. They're about ready to give up, and they feel like they just need some help, but they don't have a whole lot of money to start with. So that's what we're talking about. If you're just catching on late, that's what we're talking about on this particular video. I'm just kind of giving you guys my way, and that's why I put it my way, because there's no particular way that you have to build a team, right? But I'm kind of giving you the formula that I use, because I feel like if I had to do it all over again and start today, I would do it the exact same way. I would start from within. I would start, if I'm using a banking system or a credit union already for personal, I would probably just go right back to them, figure out what they have going in terms of a business checking account, their business programs. If it worked for me, or if I liked the fees, or I like what's going on there, I would use them. If I didn't, I would ask them, do you have any affiliate, credit union companies that you work with that you can refer me to? And that's what I did. Like I said, I didn't use my family like I'm telling you guys to use your family, because, like I say, I got the type of family that if they do me a favor, number one, they're gonna hurry up and want me to return the favor, and number two, they're gonna feel like I owe them something. Like if I just start making money or whatever, well, do you get Fabio got $1,000? Well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have that lawyer. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have that accountant. So that's how I want you guys to kind of look at it. For me, I just automatically just started hitting Google, right? And I would build relationships, and a lot of and here's another thing, you guys. And even when you're doing your cold calling, even when you're doing your door to door, however you're reaching out to your potential clients, okay? And I know I'm kind of jumping over the place, but I'm gonna come back to it. What you have to start doing, you have to make it and it's your priority, I should say, to figure out who you're talking to. If you go and watch the videos when I was doing the cold calling, you would notice that I would ask them, to whom am I speaking with, right? I'm sorry, what's your name, right? I will always get the name of the person that I'm speaking with, because it's very, very important, okay? You need to know the name of the person that you're speaking with. That way, so you don't, especially when you, with insurance, right? Because you can call an insurance agency, let's say State Farm, right? You can call State Farm tomorrow, local area, whatever the case is, you're bound to get a different representative, right? So if you talk to Erica today and you talk to Josh tomorrow, right? Erica and Josh, the object of the game for them is to get as much money from you, because the more money they get from you, the better their, commission is, based on selling you this particular insurance. Okay, now the object of the game for you is to kind of keep it low. The object of the game for them is to get as much as they can, right? Or sell you a more, right, higher insurance, or whatever the case is. So that's why it's important, because even if you got Josh tomorrow, but you talk to Emily today, you can call and you talk to Josh and say, hello, Safe Harbor Insurance, Josh speaking. You say, hi, Josh, great. May I speak to Emily, please? And they'll, okay, hold on. Or they'll transfer you to Emily. That way you can say, hi, Emily, yes, this is Fabio. I spoke to you yesterday about business insurance. Oh, yeah, Fabio, I remember you. You see what I'm saying? It makes it a lot easier for you than being bounced around. And do the exact same thing when you're going after accounts. You cold calling, you're going door to door. Okay, you might see Stephanie at the front desk tomorrow, and you might see Donna at the front desk Friday, right? Or when you call, you might call and speak to Donna tomorrow, but when you decide to do your walk, your door to door, and you go in, you might see Stephanie, right? So these are two different receptionists, right? But if you identify who you spoke to initially, then that person, you can always lean back on that person. They'll remember you a lot of times. Okay, so like I said, all of this is to build your team, for your marketing, to build your team for your business, in terms of your banker, your accounting, your publicist. I did the same thing. I just went person by person, or industry by industry. Okay, I started with my bank when I first registered my business, right? And then I got that out the way. I went to the credit union that I already was working at, or working with, or putting my money with. I started with them. I didn't like their program in terms for business, but I kept them for personal. So I asked my banker there if she knew someone, or knew or had any affiliate credit union that they might work with that'll be able to help me start up my business account. So they referred me to somebody else, at a whole different bank. So I went over there. I liked their program, so I set it up there. Okay, so now I have a personal banker over at Bank One, and then I have a business banker over, let's say, at Bank Two, right? So this is how you just develop relationships. When you go to the bank, you talk to them. You stop in, you give them a call. You give them a birthday card. You make sure that they remember you, because you never know. For an example, uh, when you call the bank, when I call my banker, they're not supposed to give you financial information over the phone. Okay, a lot of times or if they do, they're going to ask you a ton of questions, right? So when I call my banker and I need something right away, or I need to know something, a lot of times they don't make me jump through the hoops, all right? Because I'm networked, I'm friendly with my banker, okay? So a lot of things for me happen on a phone call, because I don't just call the banker when I need something. If I know it's Christmas, I give them a Christmas card. If I know it's Easter, I give them an Easter card, whatever the case is, right? If I know it's a birthday, I give them a birthday card. I stop in, I talk to them. I might go to the window and talk to the banker, and I do this on both banks, my personal banking and my business bank. But you have to establish those relationships. When you deal with your lawyer, you can't just say, well, I'm just gonna deal with my lawyer just when I need him, or when I got a legal matter going on. Try to keep some type of correspondence going with them. Okay, I'm not saying every single day, right? But maybe once every quarter. Like me, I check my accounts once every quarter. I'm on it in terms of making sure we're on the right track, making sure everything is together, making sure we don't have any problems. I do that once a quarter. Okay, in terms of just making sure everything is good. So and I feel like you should do that with anybody that's on your team that you're not dealing with on a more daily or consistent basis. Okay, so if you like your bank, if you're just going in and you're making a deposit, or you're doing a withdrawal, just stop at the office, talk to Erica, right? Talk to Donald. Hey, Donald. Hey, I'm just stopping by. Hey, there's Fabio. Do you have a minute to talk? You can see what other programs that they have. You can see what other investment situations that they have, right? You want to embrace yourself with these people, right? You want to make sure that you're friendly and you have these type of bases. Same thing with your lawyer. This is how you build a team. At least this is how I build a team. Okay? Over time, over time things will happen. Fees will go up, lawyers will switch up, right? The people will switch up on you. Things will happen. Okay, from whatever. You know, you have to be ready and open to the switch up, because you don't have any choice. You can't control how somebody else change prices on you, change the way they operate. You can't control that. Okay, so don't get mad and say, hey, whatever, right? Again, you whatever you did to get that particular banker, whatever you did to get that particular accountant, then you go ahead and you do it again, and you just try to develop a relationship with a new accountant. Also, another thing that I would suggest you guys to do is join like a BNI group, okay? Because here you can meet a lot of people, right? Professional people. You can also join, hey, what's going on, Cody? You can also join the Chamber of Commerce. You join the Chamber of Commerce in your local area. You can meet a lot of professional people. Now, a lot of these networking groups, I will tell you, it's going to come at a fee, okay? Another way that you can do it is attend. What's up, Fabio? Should deal with someone. It's cleaning. It's not through corporate. You say, how should you deal with somebody when cleaning is done through corporate? You just have to contact corporate, okay? Because that's what we're going to call a corporate account. So you just have to contact somebody at the corporate headquarters. And it may not be easy to get to that person, Tony, just to let you know. It may not be easy. You may get bounced around, from phone line to phone line, extension to extension. But if you want it bad enough, you have to stay at it. Just stay at it. Keep trying to figure out what department. For an example, let's take banks. So let's just take, let me see, who could I use in Detroit? Let's take Comerica Bank, which is a large institution in Michigan. So if you wanted to go after a bank, Nine times out of 10, any local branch that you walk into, they're going to tell you, Tony, and they're going to say, well, we don't handle it here, but what you have to do is contact corporate. Now, Comerica Bank, and I know this because I tried before I wound up not getting that particular contract, but I did try going into Comerica before, so I do know that this is what they do. Uh, what they'll do is give you a corporate number, right? And a lot of times they'll give you the extension of the department, or they'll give you the person name at that particular corporate branch or whatever the case is. So they'll say, here's the corporate number. You need to talk to Annie Lou at corporate. And her extension is 123. All right. So then when you call, you automatically know to speak to Annie Lou. Okay. So that's pretty much how you have to deal with the corporate, side of things in terms of getting those corporate contracts. And there's no way around going through corporate. You have to go through corporate, and also be ready when you go through corporate, because just because you're aiming for one particular, let's just use banks, you're aiming for one particular branch, they may want you to do multiple branches, okay, in order to pick up that particular contract. They may say, well, we have 5 branches or we have 7 branches we want you to cover. Is it possible that you can cover all 7 branches? So I just want you to know that for when you go into a corporate, going up the corporate ladder, going to the corporate stand, that may be a possibility. Whereas you might be trying to look for, let's say, the branch right by your house, and they might have like 6 other branches that they want you to cover too. So just keep that in mind. But to hop back on topic, you guys, again, that's how I would suggest that you guys build a team. Again, number one, start within. Okay, so if you already using a particular, let's say, banker, and you want to set up a bank account or a business checking account, then start with the bank that you're already at. Okay, if you like their fees, you can use one of my techniques where it's not a technique really, but you can use one of my things where you can ask them if they have any affiliate banks that they're affiliated with, right? And they can pass that along to you. You can try that. You do the same thing for lawyers, okay? If you can find somebody in your family, you might know a lawyer, you might have a lawyer in your family. You might be going to school, or you might know somebody that's going to school for law. They're going to a particular college or whatever the case is, university, right? You can ask them, hey, have you hobnobbed with any lawyers? Any good business lawyers? They may or may not know, right? So you can use all your resources from the inside, from within. And if you can't get anybody from within, then you might want to go to Google, which is, like I say, what I did. I went to Google. I just typed in business lawyers in Detroit, business lawyers in Toledo, right? Like, even I'm from Toronto, so I have an American lawyer, right? And I have a Canadian lawyer, right? So when I have to deal with immigration, different things like that, if it's something Canadian based, right, then I can call my Canadian lawyer. If it's something American based, then I can call my American lawyer. And the reason, and a lot of times people ask me, why do you have both for that? Why wouldn't you just have one? That's because a lot of times American lawyers don't understand Canadian law, and Canadian lawyers don't understand American law. They just know their jurisdiction, right? So, but that's just to kind of help you guys out. That's just how I built the team. When I didn't have money, I just negotiated everything. I also stayed friendly with everybody. In other words, I sent emails to them, or I sent text messages, or I seen what other programs that they was offering, or maybe software programs. Like for an example, my accountant, for keeping your numbers, keeping the books and bookkeeping and things like that. I asked my accountant, hey, do you have any software programs to make it easier for bookkeeping? Where I could utilize it. And if they can tell you what's the best program out, what's this, what's that, you should try this, you should try that. Even if you're not going to buy right now, at least you have an idea upstairs. Competition get bigger. Let me see. Any ideas on how to differentiate yourself from the competition as far as getting bigger clients? Just pretty much offering different things. Like once you, most bigger contracts that you get is probably going to be like ran by franchises a lot of times. So offering what I call a irresistible offer, offering something totally different that a franchise wouldn't do. Like you can throw in extra this, or extra this or that for half off, or you can give them a free this or free that, right? The one that I like to use the most is the carpet cleaning or a VCT floor cleaning, So if I offer that to them, I would have them get that as a free service if they stay with me for a year. And I do a year because within the course of the year they would have been to pay for that service with me, doing their month to month accounts, right? Just month to month billing. So by the time that year comes, the 13th month, when it start over and when they're due for maybe a free VCT floor cleaning job or a carpet cleaning job, they've already paid for it. And I'm talking about with big accounts and smaller accounts, you can use the same technique. But you want to have your own wavelength. If it's something that you see and it feel good, Cody, and you see no one's doing it, you haven't heard nobody on YouTube speak on it, you haven't heard nobody mention it online, give it a shot. Give it a shot because you can revolutionize the cleaning industry as we know it, right? You can add a whole different technique. Another guy that I would suggest you guys take a look at, Cody, and you might want to write this down. His name is Jay Abraham. Okay, Jay Abraham. You probably heard of him. He's an old school guy. He's built, I think, more than like $50 billion in revenue in terms of helping other companies like McDonald's and big Xerox, big corporations, right, scale up into the next level. He has a lot of books and audio books and tapes. I still read his stuff. I haven't read it in so long, but his material is still prevalent today. Like if you go to jayabraham.com, that's Jay Abraham.com, you'll find a lot of his books and tapes. And he talk about that method that I just suggested to you. So you could take something from one industry, use it in a whole nother industry, and just revolutionize the entire industry as we know it, right? Because you can be the first one to do it, right? I tell people all the time, Cody, just because it haven't been done, don't mean it can't be done. Okay, you just have to be the first to do it. Okay, so, but again, that guy, his name is Jay Abraham. Look him up. He's a phenomenal guy. He's helped companies like McDonald's, Xerox. Uh, is it Gobi? Joby? I got you. I got you. Let me see here. Nice. I'll check it out. Just trying to not sound like everybody else. Here it is. I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna give you guys who. Matter of fact, I'm not. If you use me for coaching, use me for coaching. If you decide to get coaching for me, which is $75 an hour, I would tell you guys who I use to perfect my phone script. To perfect my phone script, I would tell you where did I learn how to formulate my phone script and why it's so effective. So if you want coaching, in the subject line, email me and put coaching slash phone script, okay, or cold calling script. That will let me know, with the email. That will let me know what you guys grant. Okay, that will let me know what you guys are emailing me for. Okay, or that will let my assistant know basically, so she can get it over to me, because it's a particular system that I bought, and I will share it with you guys. It could be pretty pricey, but it'll be worth it if you decide to buy it. Okay, now you won't be buying it through me. Okay, you'll be buying it through them, by the way. Okay, it's not something that I sell, but I will give you that person who I use. If you're serious, you get on the coaching, just put coaching and then put cold calling script. Okay, that will let us know. And then once you get on the call with me, you ask me about it, I would tell you the person that I use to help build my cold calling script. Okay, and why it seemed like it comes easy to me, if you guys are interested. It's not a must, but if you're interested. Okay, but anyway, Jay Abraham is a good way to start for you guys that want to kind of scale up. Again, he's one of those throwback guys, but he really knows his shit. And what he does is take little things from certain industries and use them in other industries. It must be a handling. Yeah, it's for handling objections. Yeah, handling objections. How tonality. It talks about all of that. You guys hear me talk about tonality a lot. It talked about quite a bit of things. Okay, but like I said, you guys, that's how you will want to build your team. You will want to do it step by step. Okay, I wouldn't so much focus on building a team in the very, very beginning if you're just starting out. But if you're generating, in excess of $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month, which I do have some subscribers that I speak to regularly, that's a part of that club that generate $15,000 a month. Um, and you feel like, hey, it's time for me to build up or it's time for me to scale up, then that's how you will want to do it. Okay, because eventually you're going to have to do it. Also, I think it's very important, and a lot of times people don't give these people the time of day. I think it's very, very important to have a publicist. Okay, um, and a lot of people don't look at that as being important. But every major corporation and company in the world have a public relations department. Okay, or have a publicist. Okay, from your latest actors, your musicians, your rappers, everybody, even Xerox, Microsoft, everybody, Facebook, everybody have a public relations department or have a publicist. Like if you're just an individual like you and I, right? Like rappers and stuff like that, they have a publicist. Okay, you want to have that. What is that? A publicist? A publicist is a person that handle all of your media, whether you offering something new to your industry, you want to get some media attention, you want to let the community know what you're doing. In other words, the way the publicists work, let me see who it is I'm talking to. Ozzy. The way the publicists work is, say for an example, you offering a new, let's say you're offering a new machine that can help cleaning any account worldwide better. Then what you could do is you can use a publicist. If you don't know how to get the media attention yourself, you can use a publicist to help you get in the media, to help you get in the paper, to help you get on radio, to help you get in the news, to let people know about this wonderful machine that you created that you want the masses to know about. Once the masses know about this machine, then they're going to start buying abundance, right? Because if they're a cleaning business like you and I and other companies, even franchises out there, they're going to start beating up your phone line. So basically, that's what a publicist does. It help you bring your message to the masses, generally at a price. Okay, they say public relations is free. It can be if you do it yourself. If you read some books, you maybe take some classes, you maybe get a better understanding of how public relations work. It can definitely be free if you're willing to put in the power. A lot of the public relations or media attention that I ever got, I did myself, which is based on picking up the phones and making the calls. But you will want to get a publicist. Okay, that should be part of your team. Now, it don't have to be your initial person. Like you, it's not as important as your banker in the beginning, or a lawyer, right, or your accountant, right. But you do eventually want to get that particular person. Okay, everybody that you do business with, you will want to deal with that particular person because that's how you build relationship, you guys. So, for an example, when I go like the photographer that I use. Okay, so okay, thanks for the help too. No problem. So when I go and get professional pictures taken, headshots and things of that sort, I use the same photography company, right? Or when you do a videography, right? You use the same type of company, right? The media company, whatever the case is. You just get to using the same type of people, and that's how you build that relationship. So then as you come back to them and utilize them more and more, they become part of your team. And don't be shy to send them business. Okay, if you know somebody that's looking for a great photographer and you feel like you have the best photographer, send them business. Okay, they will enjoy that, and that will only help your relationship with them build even bigger. Okay, and whoever they know, however they can help you in business in the long run, they'll share their resources and contacts with you. Okay, so it'll be a trickle down domino effect, but essentially this is how I built my team. Okay, I started from within. Okay, and whoever couldn't help me, or if whatever the case was, then I hit Google. I Googled business lawyers in Detroit, business lawyers in Toledo, Ohio, right? So I just typed in business lawyers and whatever. Uh, a business accountant. I started with accounting with a business accounting firm, and then and they were handling my payroll and stuff like that. Right now, I use Paychecks. So if you guys want to use a great payroll service, my company, we offer a direct deposit format. They do offer paper checks, but I feel but you pay for those paper checks, by the way. So I found it advantageous for my company to use paychecks, but use it through a check card, right? Because we can get away from those check fees, those paper check fees. Okay, so you got to pay for the carrier, you got to pay for all of that, the checks to be delivered to your office and all of that, and you have to pay for that. When they each check, right? You have to pay for that, and then for the carrier to deliver them, you have to pay for the shipping. Okay, so that all comes out of that, opposed to just having a ACH, deposit onto a check card, or ACH deposit into a checking account, business checking or personal checking account, right? Direct deposit. So I find it to work well for me. But again, if you guys want to utilize them, that's who I utilize. Another big company you can utilize is ADP. Paychecks and ADP are the two largest, at least that I know of. They give you great rates for under 100 employees. So if you got at least Paychecks, I don't know about ADP, but Paychecks give you great rates if you have 100 employees and under. Okay, they have a fantastic system in place. You can check how much is going out. They handle your hiring, your firing. They hire your payroll taxes. They hire all the the FICA and taking out all. They hire all. They handle all of that. All you have to do is just key it in like a back office. Okay, you have a username and password. You key it in, and it's going to tell you what Joe Schmo got paid year to date, what Amy Lou got paid year to date. Anybody that worked for you, what they got paid. Is yeah, paychecks. Yep, that's it. And it breaks it down. You can break it down employee by employee. You can check all of your revenue going out year to date. How much you didn't spent on just employee taxes and all of that stuff. It's a great situation. It's very user friendly. If you guys want to, you need a company to handle your paychecks. I started them when I was really small, so it was really easy. All you have to do is just call the 800 number. You can go to Paychecks in your area. Paychecks is worldwide. And other is publicity. Yeah, publicity. Yeah, public relations, or PR is if you're gonna Google it and do some research about it. It's public relations, or publicist, not publicity. If you're looking to hire a publicist, you would type in, let's say you're in Miami, so you would type in local publicist in Miami, let's say in Google, right? And then all the local, publicists in that area, will populate, and then you just kind of call and, set up a meeting, yada, yada, yada. Let them know what type of business you have and if you like them. Again, a lot of times, and let me tell you guys, they're going to try to put you on a retainer. Don't do a retainer thing because you won't need to pay them. Just pay as you go. Okay, so as you need them, pay them for a service. If you want them to pitch the news, then pay them for that particular pitching. If you want them to do a press release in a paper, then pay them for that particular job. So pay as you go. That's what I would suggest, because a retainer, you're just going to pay them whether they do anything for you or not. You're going to continue to pay them month after month. Okay, so, and the same thing with the lawyer. Lawyer, you just kind of pay as you go. Hello, Fabio. Quick question. I started my business 5 months ago, and I've grown to 16 accounts. Very good, awesome. 16 accounts, that's good. Basically, the workload is overwhelming. I need to focus on going after new business. What is some advice you can share from when you were at this point? Okay, well, the best thing that I could tell you is to put in good employees. Also hire a field supervisor. Now, if you got 16 accounts, I'm not sure if you're doing all 16 yourself. I would think that you probably have at least 2 or 3 people working for you. You can start from within and build up. So whoever your top producer is, in terms of the person that always come to work, that's always on time, that let you know, give you a heads up for, we're running out of this, the vacuum went is breaking down over here. For that type of person, that you can utilize him as your right hand man, your right hand woman. Okay, and then you build them, you turn them from employee to what we call like a field supervisor. And that person, what they do at that point, Torrance or Terrence, is check each account for you with you. Okay, so that lifts some of the weight off of you. Okay, and then you're just gonna hire somebody and put them in their spot. Okay, so what you're gonna do, what you probably should do, is hire somebody for each account. Okay, unless you have kind of bigger accounts, right? If you have like smaller to medium sized accounts, you just hire, per account, right? You just interview. I'm not saying just go on a mass hiring spree, because you want to make sure, the background come back good. You want to do a background check. I also ask for my employees to have a police clearance. You might want to try that. Police clearance just let me know that they don't have anything current, because you can do a background check today, and whatever they got going on, let's say in the last 30 days, won't populate in the background check, because I think the background check only posts like every 90 days or so. Okay, so it won't be in the background. But anyway, we could talk about that more. You want to make sure they get a police clearance if you decide that that's what you want to do. You want to do background check, and then you want to do a drug screening. Okay, now my company, we use a kit. We have a drug screening kit that we order, and we also use a laboratory. Okay, where they go to the lab and they handle it that way, send it out, bring the results back in. Okay, so that's how you want to do it. Okay, and then hire, like I say, a body for each account that you have. Okay. But when I first started out, let's say when I had like 7 accounts, it was overwhelming for me at 7, and I was cleaning all 7. But I was always accepting applications. So what I was doing was interviewing everybody, and if I felt good about the person, if I did a background check, I didn't do drug screening in the beginning, because I like really couldn't afford it, and I kind of didn't know what to do, so I kind of picked that up along the way. But I did a background check. Okay, and then you use one of those companies online that do a background check, and you can do a police clearance. You can have them where the police will give them a letter, like a letter of clearance, saying that they're okay. And if they don't want to do a police clearance, then chances are they probably got some type of charges that they haven't told you about, and they just don't want to do it. Which, at that point, what you can do is just move forward, and hiring somebody else or get somebody else to do it. But again, I would say start from the inside of your organization, the inside of your company, and build up. Okay, so if you already have somebody right now that's working for you, that's doing a terrific job besides yourself, then mark them up to a field supervisor, and they're going to be like your right hand man, like they're going to be your helper, right? And then you're going to hire somebody and put them in that person's place, because you marked them up. So you need to fill this position wherever they were working at. Okay, so now this person will be in charge of the other employees. They can help you with the hiring, they can help you with the firing, right? They can take the applications, they can meet them, they can, you can put them in a position to handle that, right? And then they will be step 1 of the hiring process, and you will be step 2, pretty much, right? You can do it that way. So let's say you got Michael, and I want to work for your company, then I put in the application. I deal with Michael in the beginning, but in order for me to really get hired, then I have to interview with you. And then based on what Michael's saying, what Michael suggests, and how Michael feel about it, you and Michael would talk about me, and if Michael say I feel good about him, yada yada yada, then at that point, how much can you pay them? Let me see. Sorry for cutting you off. Let me see. No, it's okay. Sorry for cutting you off. Back to what you did. Let's see. Next to do. Well, when you hire a publicist, when you hire a firm, it's a little bit more expensive. So if you're hiring a public relations firm, it's going to be, one second. It's going to be a little bit more expensive when you hire in a firm. If you hire a publicist, just a individual, just an individual person that does PR, public relations, you'll probably get a better rate. Okay, just hiring a person that's just a independent business owner, publicist, than you would if you hire a firm. Okay, so that's what I would suggest that you do. Um, a lot of times it's negotiable, but a lot of times their rates are fixed. Okay, so if it's a little too high, if they say, well, for us to do a public relations campaign for you, which is a campaign is where they target all different forms of media, news, radio. I got you, Terrence. I'm gonna come right back, dude. I got you. Whether they're targeting media, radio, newspaper, local newspaper, whether they're targeting television, whatever form of media, right? That's considered a campaign. They're trying to do a mass campaign and get you picked up by as many uh, news stations, get you picked up as many radio operations, get you picked up in many newspapers, right? So that's what we would call like a media blitz. Okay, they're trying to get you picked up by different media outlets. Okay, but if you just want to target, let's say your local paper, you say, hey, I need you to uh, help me put a story together. You know, I'm doing this community event. I want to get it on the evening news, and I want to get it in the local paper. Then you know they can help you put a media release together or a press release together to submit to the media to help pick up your story. Okay, so if you don't understand media, you might want to do a little research, or you just hire a publicist and they can help you formulate a story or put a story together that could ultimately get picked up by major media outlets or radio programs or um, newspaper outlets. Okay, so that's how that would work. Let me see here. Terrence say, what should be a good profit margin per account? I need to begin taking in a minimum at the same time taking care of employees. No problem, Ozzy. Um, well, profit margin. I never like to tell people what, because in different areas of the country it's different. You know, it's different. You know, ranges in terms of cost of living. You know, different minimum wages, rates. You know, so I never like to tell people what that profit margin should be. Okay. But when I first, I'll give you an example and maybe you can kind of see what I'm talking about. When I first started my business in the very, very beginning, I told myself there was a minimum that I had to make monthly at each account. Monthly, minimum. So if somebody, for an example, let's just take $200. If I had to make $200 or better on each account for me to pick up that account in the very beginning. If they were talking about $150 or $100, or you're going to get $75 just for this one-time cleaning or something like that, I might do it, but most times I probably wouldn't, because in my head I told myself that I had to make at least $100 on per account. Okay, so you can start there. Now, I wouldn't say mark it up real high. I wouldn't tell you, say, hey, say you need to make $500 on each account, because you're probably not going to make that on each account. Okay, not really starting off. You know, I had, in the very beginning, I had accounts that was, you know, 200, 175, but, you know, the 175 accounts was only like twice a month. It was only like maybe 3 hours total for the month, right? So it's like hour and a half, you know, both cleanings twice a month. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. 75, 3 hours. Yeah, okay, cool. It's just everything, every little bit help, right? So, but you might want to, like I said, you want to give yourself a certain margin in your head. Whatever you have to look at your overhead, because everybody overhead is different. If you're cleaning right now and you don't have any employees, then you get to pocket more. But when you have employees, you got to dish out more. So the more you got to dish out, the more you got to charge, because obviously you got to handle your personal expenses, right? Because it's still coming out of that unless you have a job. Or you got to and you got to handle your business expenses. What I like to tell people is, if you have a job, work a job in conjunction for like 6 months, and when you double or triple what you're making at your job monthly. So for an example, let's say you make $2,000 a month, right? And just a month at work, right? And that's gross before taxes or whatever. Yeah, before taxes. Let's say $2,000. Okay. I hope I'm not offending anybody. I'm just playing with figures here. You make a $2,000 a month gross. Then wait till you make $4,000 or $6,000 in monthly billing before you quit the job, if that makes sense, right? Because you can always piggyback off of your work income as you build your business income. You can always have your work income help you with maybe, let's say, your personal bills, your phone bill, your home bills. You can just let that do that, right? And then whatever little money you have, you can always throw it into the business side, right? And help build your business up. Then once your business starts making money by itself, now you have these two incomes. One, you can still, because if you're living right now, you might be struggling. Listen to me, guys, because I'm doing it realistically here. I'm not trying to. This is realistic plan. This is what worked for me. Well, okay, so if you got $2,000 that you're making, okay, and you're living, even though you're struggling, you're living, you're still managing all your bills on this, okay, then we know that you can make $2,000 monthly with your business. Now that's $4,000, right? Okay, so because you still got the job over here, so you still got $2,000 that you're bringing in. Okay, you make it $2,000 with your business over here, right? Now this business money that come in, you're going to get a salary. This $2,000 isn't your money. Okay, majority of it, if you're the proper business person, you want to invest that back into the business. Okay, but I would, if I were you, I would make $6,000 or $4,000 because now you have a better cushion. Okay, so you might still be working over here for $2,000, which is what you're bringing in gross. Again, these are gross figures. Okay, so you grossing $2,000 over here, and this is your job. And over here, you're grossing, let's say, $4,000. This is what you bill in total billing, monthly billing with all your accounts. Okay, and then at that point, you can kind of decide when you should start hiring because you will know what you can afford to pay. Out of that, you have to decide how much your bills are going to be, what type of overhead you have. Again, like I say, everybody overhead is different. Everybody expenses is different. Everybody live in different parts of the country, right? Just like, okay, I'm in Michigan now, but in California, the cost of living is way higher than Michigan, right? Or in Las Vegas in Nevada, it's way higher than Michigan, the cost of living, right? So that's like comparing apples and oranges. So what $2,000 will do for me in Michigan, it won't do shit in California. I might have to make $7,000 to make up. You see where I'm going? So that's why I don't like to tell people exactly what profit margin or what type of margins that they should have. It kind of, like I say, it's a whole different dynamic. Your overhead, your employees, just your day-to-day operations and living expenses and things of that sort. Again, I don't know if you have a job or anything. If you have a job, again, I would say work your job, guys. If you got a job, work your job for like 6 months to a year if you can. Now, if you're anything like me, you heard my story. You guys know my story. I was getting pressured. I was one of the highest selling shoe persons in my company that I was working for. And they kept lowering my wages, lowering my hours. They kept giving me days off. They were fucking with me. They were trying to make the job harder. So the more they lower my wages, the more they lower my hours. I don't know why I keep saying that. The more they lower my hours, like the less money I was making. So it was becoming hard to pay my bills, right? So eventually, I had to let them go. And then that's when I went into my business full throttle. And that's because I had a burning desire to win. That's the only way I was winning. Now, like, again, you guys heard my story. I wanted to get my first account in the first 60 days, and I got my account. It took me 90 days to get one account. And right now, I got people that's watching me on YouTube that's getting 5 accounts in the first 30 days, right? That's killing me. Like, it took me a little time to get $5,000 in monthly billing. I got people that's making $5,000 a month in monthly billing in 30 to 60 days. Right? So again, this stuff is common sense. It's not always common practice. I do not have a job at the moment. Why do I think it took me so long? I'm gonna get to that, Tony. I know exactly why it took me so long. Yeah, I can help you, Ozzy. Just make sure you get the information over to my assistant. Let me come back up top here. Let me see here. Terrence. I think it's Torrance. I'll call him Mr. Green. Uh, Let me see here. I do not have a job at the moment. So if you don't have a job at the moment, your every waking hour should be aggressively going door to door, trying to pick up new accounts. With the accounts that you are having, I think you say you got 16, then if you can't handle the workload, it's going to show up in your work, right? And then eventually you're going to start getting fired. Okay, if you can't, that's if you can't handle the workload that you have. Okay, so to keep from that happening, what you should do is hire maybe one or two people that can help you with the workload. Now, I don't know if you do these accounts every single day, once a week. You might have some that's 7 days a week, 5 days a week, 3 days a week, 1 day a week, right? So if it's broken down to that, it should be a little bit more manageable. But I do know the feeling of having to go to 3 accounts a day, right? Because you got 3 accounts that you have to do on Mondays, or you got 4 accounts that you got to do on Tuesdays. So I am very, very aware of that, right? In that case, you do want to have a lot of help, because by the time you get home, man, you go to sleep, it's going to be hard for you to kind of get new business, because you get in so late because of these accounts that you're doing in the evening time. By the time you go home, it's only enough time you can barely shower, and then you got to lay down and get right back up, and then try to make yourself get out in the field and pick up new accounts and still manage the other aspects of your business. So I totally understand, but I do commend you for having 16 accounts. I do commend you for that, but you might want to add an extra person. I know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So, with that being the case, like I say, you want to add extra help to your roster. Okay, that's the only way that I think that can ease it for you. Sometimes people don't like to do that because they get used to making that money and they just don't want to share it, right? They don't want to pay out. Okay, so but you at this point, eventually you're going to start. It avoids burnout. So eventually you're going to start burning out, and you're not going to be able to handle the workload, and it's going to show up in your work because you're going to be missing this here, missing that there, missing this here, missing that there, and then you're going to start getting complaints. And then if you're not able to reverse that situation, then you're going to eventually start getting fired. Trust me, I know this personally. Okay, I know this personally. The burnout is not good. Trust me. Okay, so you might want to add one person or two people to your roster. And I'm not saying you even have to have 16. That might be a bit much, and you might not have the revenue to pay them people. At least get two people. Okay, at least get two people, and then on those days that you have multiple accounts, those two people can help you out. While you're cleaning one, you can have one at another and one at another, right? That'll help you out, right? So that'll cut your workload down a little bit. So whereas you might do 3 accounts yourself, you only have to do one, right? Because you got another one at each account on those particular days. Hopefully this is making sense to you guys. Let me get to the questions here. I don't want people to think I forgot about them. Stick with me. Tony, are you still on here? Let me know. Why do you think it took you so long? It took me so long because I started getting impatient. I started getting impatient, and I started, to be honest, Tony, I started thinking that it wasn't for me. It wasn't going to work for me. So I would have weeks, Tony, to be honest, and that's why I preach so much about motivation and staying persistent and consistent, because I know that's what it takes. I would have weeks where I would just go, and because I'm very, like, as you guys know, I'm like aggressive, right? I'm very, I can do it. I'm Fabio Hart. I can do it. I can do it. That's the perception that you probably give of me. Well, me being a Virgo, and that's not working, I get in my feelings. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm supposed to get this account. Like, somebody bullshitting. Like, what the hell is going on? I'm Fabio Hart. I'm supposed to get this account. Like, and I'm not getting accounts. And I just knew I was going to get an account in the first 60 days. Why? Because I'm Fabio Hart. I just felt like I'm supposed to happen to me, right? I'm supposed to get this. But when it didn't happen to me, I'm like, man, fuck out of here. That's really my verbiage. That's what I was saying. Like, what the hell is going on? And then I was slacked down, Tony. So I was like, man, fuck this. This is not for me. And then as I had the little money that was in my account, Tony, I kept having to spend it. Something, my phone bill, this would come up, that would come up, this problem. I got a flat tire, I got to pay. Shit kept coming out of my account, but nothing was going in because at this point, I wasn't working, right? So I had a little money, and I could not go down to $5. You see what I'm saying? $5 in the account and no accounts. You feel me? So I'm like, this shit gotta work. So I stayed working at it, stayed working at it, and it just happened. That's why it took me 90 days instead of 60 because I would get relaxed. And that's why I tell you guys to stay motivated. Keep going. Stay motivated. Let me see here. Let me keep going. Do you pay by the hour or by the job? I pay by the hour. Let me see. 2 hours, so that would be $24 an hour. Yeah, yeah. Per no, I would pay by the hour, Terrence. But it's your company, so you don't have to do it the way I do it. Like you can pay your employees. I was coaching somebody on YouTube, and they pay their people once a month. They just give them one big check once a month. They only get paid once a month. So you can pay them weekly, you can pay them bi-weekly, you can pay them once a month. It depends on you, however you want to set it up. Just make sure the check is there. You just let them know at the interview that, hey, we pay once a month, we pay every such and such a day, and you just make sure that those funds is available. Okay. Most people that work for me already got I'm like their second job. I'm like their evening job. They already got, a lot of people got day jobs already. All right. So that's that. So them, if I was to change up and I say, okay, I'm going to pay once a month, well, they already got another income anyway, right? So I'm like a second job for them. But I pay bi-weekly. Let me see here. Almost forgot, Fabio. I'll probably get an account and I'll need your help. Yep. Just email me, Ozzy. I'll help you do the best that I can for you. Dave Ramsey say you should live under your mean. I guess it's your means. Let me see. Laughing out loud, especially that's where we're at. Okay. Yep, avoid burnout. Yep. Okay, Tony's still there. So you weren't on the phones every day. Is what you were saying. I started out on the phones. And what happened was I wasn't getting any traction. Really because I didn't know what to say. I just used the script that came with my course when I bought my course when I first started my business, and it was just a basic script. And then I went online to try to find a script, and they were all basic. And then I found this other situation that I would explain to you guys if people decided to go into coaching. I was determined to figure it out, and I had ordered this course on cold calling, getting to the yes, and it just kind of started working for me, right? But I was getting a lot of hangups. Yep. But I started off with the phones. It wasn't working, and then that's when I jumped out door to door. Okay, and I got my first account going door to door, and then I returned back to the phones, and I was a little bit more posh, understood marketing, understood cold calling. I had ordered this, got some more money up, ordered this course on telemarketing, and then it just started turning around for me, start working for me. Let me see here. Or can you let them choose? I think that's a bad idea. What you think? Never let them choose, man. Never let them choose. You the boss, you call the shots. I think 2 employees at the moment. What was the strategy about clustering your accounts? For an example, I have a few accounts that are out by themselves, so I need to find additional clients in that same area. Let me read this again. I have 2 employees at the moment. Since 2012, David. February 2012. Let me see. I have 2 employees at the moment. What was the strategy about clustering accounts? For an example, I have a few accounts and work and drive 20 miles to the account. Uh, are you saying you don't want to make that drive 20 miles to those accounts? Probably the best thing to do for an account that's 20 miles away from where you live is to hire somebody close in that area. So you could put up an ad or put out, an ad or some flyers looking for help in that area. And then anybody that's looking for work, it'll be closer to their home, 20, where they're at, and it'll make it easier for you. The only thing you will want to do, though, is go and check on those accounts. I would say in the beginning, at least once a week. No, I need to pick up new accounts in that area so I can have them. Work 2 or 3 locations. No. When you pick up your accounts, Terrence, start close to you. Start close to you, okay? And then work your way out from there. So don't start out 20 miles away from where you live when you can start 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles. Okay, so you want to do maybe 5 to 10 miles away from where you live in the beginning. Okay, build some traction that way, and then if you don't get any traction or you do, either way, then start expanding. Okay, once you feel like you got enough, you've done enough bids, you've done enough walkthroughs, you submitted enough estimates out, 5 to 10 mile radius from where you live. Okay, then you can up it to 15 miles, right? You can go a little further, 20 miles, 25 miles, right? But I would say start close to your area. Okay, don't try to get a bunch of accounts 20 miles away when that's might be quite a bit of ways from where you stay, right? It won't make sense, because even if you hire someone, let's say in the city or somewhere close to you, they still have to get 20 miles from where they live to that job site. Okay, so if you're going to look for accounts 20 miles away from where you're at, then I would suggest that you hire somebody close within that radius that they're able to get to that account. Okay, for an example, I operate in Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio. Okay, I operate in Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio. So let's take Toledo, which is like basically an hour, 15 minutes away from Detroit, right? Now, I can actually drive there, and if I had to drive there, it'll get tiring, but I can actually drive there on a day-to-day basis if I had to do those accounts, me living in Michigan, okay? However, it wouldn't make sense for me to make that commute every single day when I could just hire somebody in Toledo to handle that particular account, if that makes sense to you, okay? So that's what I'm saying. I could just hire somebody in that area, and then I can just drive out there and check maybe once a week, right? Once a month, twice a month, whatever the case is, and check on that particular account. That way I know, number one, everything is ran right. We don't have any complaints. We got enough product. The vacuum cleaners work. Everything is running well. No complaints. Everything is good. Okay, because you want to check on it. Okay, when I say check on the account, I mean check on, make sure the workload is good. Make sure everything is going good with the employee and with your chemicals, your products, your vacuum cleaners. When I say check on it once every quarter, that means check in with your contact person to make sure that they don't have any complaints. I would not check in with the contact person every single day, right? Because it looks like you don't have anything to do. And eventually what's going to happen is they'll start making up shit for you to do. Let me see. It's too late, Fabio. I'm in the DFW Metroplex, and the majority of my leads come from Thumbtack. Okay. I recently moved further out, so I'm managing the existing accounts, but want to make sure that my workers can make a living. Well, no, don't pressure yourself. Don't pressure yourself for your employees, okay? Because then that's how mistakes happen, okay? For an example, when I first started, my first employees, right, they would get like 4 hours because that's all I can offer them right now. Well, they needed money, so 4 hours was better than no hours, okay? You have to look at it from that regard. Now, as I picked up more accounts, instead of hiring somebody new, I would say, hey, I got the new account if you want to pick it up. Either way it goes, I would have had to clean it. If they didn't, if they didn't want to pick that account up, then I would still clean it, but I will offer them more hours as I pick up new accounts. But I would make sure the workload was feasible. I didn't want to overload them because then they'll start calling off. They might get tired. They might quit on me. So you don't want to overload your employees either. So you got to take that into consideration. Okay. But with the stuff that come in from Thumbtack, I guess you can't control that. I would just wait till I get those particular accounts, whatever come in at Thumbtack, and then I would deal with it as an individual situation. Let me see here. Yes, Cody, I still have all part-time employees. I still have all part-time employees. I probably have, I can count on one hand in my immediate area. I can't really speak for Ohio too much and speak for Georgia because I'm not there a lot, but locally, yes. I probably can count on one hand how many employees get like 40 hours, right? Again, a lot of my employees have other jobs and they come in, do 4 hours, 8 hours, and then they're done, right? The next day or next week or whatever, they have pretty much the same type of schedule. They have the same type of building. They go in and clean. I try to assign people to the same building and then cross manage, certain people from when people call off. Then I have somebody that's been cross managed that they could, cross train, I should say, that can go to these different accounts and make up for the people that call off. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I do. My bigger accounts, kind of like this one. I have three people. I'm gonna hire one more person over here, but I have three people, and this is like one of my most largest accounts here. This building. It's four buildings, take up 5 blocks. It's four buildings, take up 5 blocks. But we have three people. I'm gonna hire one more person over here very soon, and yeah, that's that. But for my more smaller accounts like that, like I say, and the people that work over here, they get hours. They get hours over here because it's a lot of work that can be done. Like we clean the outside and the inside of the facility over here, right? But for my little dentist office, my chiropractors, the law firm, insurance company, hair salons, different places like that, just straight evening cleaning, part-time, if they want more work, utilize them in other areas if they want more work. But for the most part, a lot of people that work for me just happy with their different positions that they have. So. Going back to Terrence. Terrence, like I say, once Thumbtacks apply you with that client that say that's 20 miles out, because it's too late to turn back now. What I would suggest you do is go work there yourself, right? Because sometimes you have to bite the bullet, right? So you have to work there yourself so you will be trained. And then you hire somebody that's locally, that's closer to that particular site, and then you have to train them. And that's the only way that I could suggest that it might work for you right now. Okay, because again, I guess with Thumbtack, I'm assuming you can't control, what they sending you or what. I guess you can say what you're going to accept or whatever, but I guess you can't control where they, what accounts that they give you. I guess, right? So if it happened to be 20 miles out and you got to drive out, then you just have to drive out. Maybe you could talk to Thumbtacks and you can ask them, hey, can you keep it within a 15-mile radius? Can you keep it within a 10-mile radius? Right? If they don't, now that might cut your work down because if they don't have it, then they don't have it. You don't make money. You don't get any new accounts. So you have to essentially just kind of bite the bullet and drive that 20 miles out and do that account. But once you're well trained in that account, then hire somebody either from within and mark them up and let them do that account along with another account, or or you can hire maybe one more person and let them work at that specific account, right? So if you already got somebody that's working at an account that you're at 20 miles, from your home, then you can use that same person that work at A account. You can have them work at B account, right? And then when some tax supply you with a C account that happen to be in that vicinity, that happen to be within that region, that area, then you can kind of look at the dynamics, because again, you don't want to put too much pressure on them. So you can say, well, you know what, I gave Alexis 2 accounts, I'm gonna give Mario this account, right? Or I'm gonna hire this guy, I happen to hire Mario, so I'm gonna let Mario start at this account because I already gave Alexis 2 accounts in the same area. So now I'm gonna just hire one more guy. And then when you get another account in that area, you can offer that to Mario. You can say, well, Mario, all I have right now is this one account. It's part-time. There's room for growth. We're looking to expand more in this area, so you will get more work. And you just be real with Mario. You let him know, okay? And then when you get more work, then you can offer it to Mario and say, hey, I got a new account in this area. Do you want to pick it up? You can try to double it up. That way you could keep from having to pay a lot of people, right? Having your payroll list to be so long. You can just double it up the workload, but you don't want to quadruple it or triple it if they can't handle it, because then they're going to get lazy. It's going to show up in the work, and then you're going to get canned. Let me see here. Yep. Cut the workload down. Yep. So that's how that works, you guys. But again, for my people that's looking to build a team, again, just start by, professional by professional. Start with your bankers. Okay, get you a bank account. Join you a networking group like a BNI or a Chamber of Commerce. You can also go to City Hall events. I meant to mention that earlier. I find a lot of reputable people at City Hall. You'll be amazed at who come to the City Hall meetings, right? It gives you an opportunity to meet other business people, potential clients, other lawyers, and people that, you might wind up cleaning their law firm. You might wind up cleaning their insurance agency. They might be managers they might be the actual contact person at the hair salon. You'll be amazed if you guys go to some of your city hall or your local meetings where they talk about the local stuff that's going on in your area. I mean, you'll meet police. Like, we got a police station. Like, I have a police station that we clean. You meet police officers and stuff like that. I've been able to get pulled over. I probably shouldn't say this, but I've been able to get pulled over and make a few phone calls and not so much have to worry about the ticket, But trust me, there's certain situations where I had to send my lawyer in. I can't stand court. I'm quick to send the lawyer in and say, hey, can you stand up can you represent me? Like, I can't stand court, period. But again, you want to meet these type of people, you guys. You want to meet different people, and the best way to meet them is to go to some of these networking events. Go to BNI meetings. Go to no problem, Neonta. Go to networking meetings. Go to BNI meetings. Go to Chamber of Commerce meetings. But I suggest that you go to your City Hall meetings because that's free. And you're going to get a lot of community people. Now, you're going to get a lot of civilians and people that might not be able to, but you don't know who can help you. Just because a lady got her hair at the top of her head, or a guy, he's looking like he doesn't have money and this, you don't know who these people know. You don't know who their dentist is. You don't know who their doctor is, right? I went after the bus line. I didn't get it, but I went after the bus line where we can kind of clean off the buses. That was just me thinking outside of the box. In Detroit, the name of our buses, they got a smart line, which is going into the suburban areas, and then they have the local DDOT bus system. I went after that. I didn't get it, and I'm still trying to this day. But I started meeting representatives and bus drivers and different people, right? So again, you have to go to these local meetings. Every city have them, like the local meetings, the city hall meetings, where they talk about local issues, killings and this and that and this and that, right? And there's a lot of perks that come with it. You meet barbers, you meet dentists, dentists, you meet dentists, I should say. You meet lawyers, you meet so many different people that might be able to help you with your business. You give them your business card, they give you theirs, or if they don't have a card, you take their number down, lock it in your phone, or put it on a pad, right, and reach out to them. That's the best way to do it. Again, go to your city hall meetings or your local meetings, because those are free. Okay, those are free to get into. Generally speaking, I know in Detroit it is. I can't imagine they charging people just to talk about issues, right? But if BNI have a price, Chamber of Commerce have a price, other networking, or you can throw your own networking gatherings, you guys. You can put up flyers and posters. You can rent out a hall, right, or rent out a hotel ballroom. Put your own little thing together, right? And it won't be that expensive. I mean, you can write it off, right, as a business expense, the hotel, the hall, whatever, right? You can write it off, right? Or if you know some little area that you can rent out, you can write it off as a business expense. Okay, I'm just trying to help you guys, and you can throw your own networking meeting together. So people that might see your flyer or your business card or your poster laying around the city, you can go to the mall, the grocery stores, put it on people's cars. I mean, you just got to find a way to do it. This is just how I'm wired. If I didn't want to, do my own thing, I might rent out a little spot, right? Maybe at a church or at a little hall, right? Rent out a spot, get some business cards and flyers, promoting it, and say, hey, you guys come to the meeting. There's only $1, right? You don't want to charge them a lot, but you kind of do want to get some of the money that you put out. So you might charge them $2 for the ticket, right? Because the whole reason that they're coming, and the whole reason that you're trying to get this gathering of business people, whether they're hairstylists, barbers, whoever, is because you want to mingle with them, because they might have opportunity that's waiting for you that you just don't know about. Or you can hobnob with them and build relationship with them. So if you don't have a barber now, you might meet this barber at this event that you threw. If you don't have a braider, you see what I'm saying? Cops to show up, right? It's okay. They can help you get out of trouble. Or if you just need to ask them, hey, I don't know if this is the law, whatever, you can call your cop friend and say, hey, what? They say, no, that's illegal. You can't do that. Or whatever the case is, you guys. I'm just kind of give you an idea. You meet lawyers, whereas they might have normally charged you for a consultation fee, because they met you at this gathering, and you come to this gathering often, and you're involved in the. Oh, my phone is about to go dead. No, and you're involved in these situations. Hold on, you guys. I'm about to charge my phone because I'm not really ready to end this live yet. Hopefully you can see me still. Whereas you might need help, you can call these people and they won't charge you these fees and things like that, right? Just because of the relationship that you build with them. That's just how business works. Almost like bartering. You do something for me, I give you a service back, or you give me a product and I give you a service for this product, right? Don't always have to be exchange money for money, or money for a service or money for a product. They can do you a favor and you might give them Detroit Tigers tickets, right? They might be baseball fans. You might be able to get them in the Tigers club, right? Because you can get a better discount, or you got access to something that they don't have access to. It's bartering, okay? They did a service for you and you paid them back by getting them in the Tigers club. It's bartering, okay? Entrepreneurs, billionaires, and millionaires do this all the time, you guys. That's why they're so interconnected. That's why you see Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates hobnobbing, and you see them at these events. You can look it up on YouTube. You see them. They, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they utilize each other. Whatever Warren doesn't know that Bill Bill will help Warren, and then Warren will pay Bill back later at a later date. Then they come together and do a business venture or whatever the case. I'm just kind of helping you guys out, man, because networking, I don't talk a lot about it, but it's very, very important. I used to go to a lot of the BNI meetings. I began to get busy, but I've met a lot of great people whom I still talk to this day. So, reporters and news anchors, radio jocks and stuff like that. These people actually go to these meetings. Okay, so you might want to pay attention to that. Here, I don't want my phone to fall. Let me see here. David Duncan, he said 100. Yep, not a problem, dude. Nianta, she said, thanks so much for this information about how to build a system of employees. You're helping a lot. Oh, not a problem, not a problem. Cody said, nice perks. Yeah, nice perks. So that's the way that I suggest. If you guys just joining me, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm just kind of giving you guys it rough, rugged, and raw, without no chase. It does work this way. You just have to be persistent. Okay, if it worked for me in my area, it can work for any small town or big town alike. You just have to be persistent. You have to be creative. This is ultimately how you will build your team, through these networking options that I told you guys about. Also, like I say, you can start within. You can start from within. If you know somebody like your family, and they, and you need a lawyer or something like that, you might have a grandpa, grandma. They might have the finest lawyer in the city. You just don't know about them because you haven't asked them about them yet. You can ask your dad, ask your mom, right? They might have a great lawyer, right? And it's specific lawyers, you guys. So you want to look for business lawyers. Preferably if you can find a lawyer that worked with other commercial cleaning businesses before, because that way they have an idea, on how to help you, because they've worked with other commercial cleaning companies, right? So they kind of be able to help you, right? So that way, whenever you need a contract drawn up, or when you can kind of sit down and will and deal with them, okay? And that's just pretty much how it worked for me, No one did me favors with my contract. It cost me like $2,700, but because I was paying for their time and for them to legalize, do it in legal wording, how to write it up and things like that. But at the end of the day, it was well worth it, and I still have a great relationship. Again, when you build these relationships, do not wait till you guys just need a favor or need something for them to call them. Figure out when their birthday is. If you don't know when their birthday, send them a happy Thanksgiving card. Send them a Merry Christmas card, right? A Happy New Year's card. Okay, send them just a customer appreciation card that you made up. Tomorrow is whatever the date is. Today 16th, so you can just make up today as customer appreciation day for our company, right? And you just send out a card. Whether you're sending it to your to your network, or you're sending it to your clients, right? Because you want them to feel that you're genuinely thankful that they hired you on. You genuinely thankful. I thank you for the opportunity of being able to be your personal, or not your personal, maybe your residential cleaner or your commercial cleaner. I thank you for allowing me to be your carpet cleaner. I thank you for allowing me to be your window cleaner. You want to be grateful, because there's so many other companies that might walk in tomorrow, and just the fact that you sent the card in today thanking them for the opportunity, it takes you it takes it a long ways for your company. It shows that you're very, very grateful for the opportunity. You're very thankful. Once again, I'm not telling you guys to do that every week. Maybe twice a year, right? Or just hit them up on the special holiday cards. Thanksgiving card, the Christmas card. Also, this is very, very important. Look at me when I tell you guys this. Please look at me when I tell you guys this. Give your employees some type of perks, okay? Me, I give my employees, from wrestling tickets when Beyonce came to the city, because I got all women that work for me. So I try to target, what they like. So when Beyonce came and I got tickets for Beyonce, Cardi B came, I actually went myself, but I got tickets from that, and I got a connection. I don't know if you're from Detroit, you probably know Hot 102.7. I actually have a connection with the radio station, DJ BJ. So it was a matter of a phone call, and I was able to get I think 10 tickets to that particular concert when Cardi B came. And what I did, I took one for me because I wanted to see her, right? And then I went in my best 9 other workers, right? Worker appreciation, right? I gave them a ticket. I got them for free, but I would have even bought the tickets right? I would have even bought the tickets because I know the girls they like, Beyonce and Cardi and Nicki Minaj and stuff like this. So I target certain things. We do a pizza party. I do a pizza party, and then usually I like to do that on maybe like the weekend, the day off, because I don't want them to have to, if they got the weekend off, I don't want them to have fun and then have to go to work. So I try to do it where, and you can just throw these things sporadically. You can do profit sharing at the end of the year. If your company has turned a good profit, right, you're doing profit sharing, you can offer, an additional $100 to the check, right? Every little bit count. Additional $150. Be thankful for the employees you have, especially if you have great employees, and especially if you're not paying them a lot and they're busting their ass for you. If you paying, because a lot of employees, you got some employees that will bust their ass for minimum wage because they're just happy to even have a job, to be working. So at the very, very least, what you can do is give them a bonus. Give them $50 bonus. Give them a gift card to Applebee's, I don't know, or whatever, right? Walmart, whatever, right? Give them, extra 50 in their check, or give them, some tickets. They going to the concert, right? To the basketball game. Maybe they're gonna take the boyfriends or something. Well, I don't know, right? Whoever, girlfriends, or whatever the case is, right? So again, stuff like this take your company a long way. And I'm not telling you to do this religiously. Just every time something come up, you got to get tickets for it and give it away. No, because they're spoiling them, and then they're gonna get too relaxed, and then they're gonna think that they're obligated to go see this. They're gonna, you don't want to get them too relaxed, too comfortable with that. Don't do too many pizza parties. Just plan it out in your head. Put a notice with their check and say, hey, pizza parties July, 1st, 2018, July 1st pizza party. You can wear what you want to wear. You're gonna have music, da 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 da. Okay, I know I bounced off the subject, but I'm telling you guys, I promise you guys, you will keep employees for a very, very long time if you just show that you're appreciative for their service. Bought my clients donuts the other day, and they loved it. And it only cost me $40, man. $40, and it's still a business expense. It's still a business expense. A lot of the shit you can write off, right? You can get it back. If you can't, it's still worth. If you can't write it off, it's still worth the investment. $40 isn't shit compared to what it might cost you if you didn't do it, right? If you did, you can have a raffle ticket, a raffle drawing, right? It's a lot of different things to be active with your employees. Okay. A lot of companies don't do this, which is why a lot of companies lose employees. A lot of companies lose employees because they don't do this. They don't have this mentality. Yep, and to keep my company going on in their mind, right. And see, in their mind, they're gonna be like, I can't wait to Cody do that again. Like they're gonna be looking forward to the next time you do donuts or a pizza party, man. In Detroit, I don't know if every place have Little Caesars, man. You can get like 5 hot and readies, man. Right, 4 hot and readies, $20. They $5 large pizza, hot and ready. Right, get 5 Cokes, 4 Cokes, whatever the case is. Right, pizza, yeah. You get a hot and ready pizza, man. Hot and ready. Make sure they hot and ready. Right, $20, 5 pizzas. Right, plus tax. Right, get 4 Cokes. And invite your employees. You set it up at a little spot, that's cool, right? That, maybe a little hall or something that you rented. Again, you can write that stuff off, you guys, where it don't have to be, whatever. Or you can do it at a park. You invite them in, that's a public location, public place. You can do it at a park and have one of the little sheds and things, I don't know. I'm giving you guys ideas, but I'm just telling you, you do want to treat your employees with respect in the long run. That's what I'm trying to convey to you guys. Okay, you do want to treat them with respect. You don't want to forget about them, because without them, it will definitely be no you, and your business will be struggling. Trust me. And if it's certain people there's rotten apples in your, don't invite them. Just do a personal, just do a personal, make it personal. You put it with their check. Each person that you're inviting them personally with their check, instead of saying, hey, you guys, pizza party coming up. Hey, we're all going to see Beyonce and Cardi B. Like, you don't want to do it that way, right? Because maybe everybody don't deserve to go see them. Like I say, for me, I got all women that work for me, so it's kind of easy. I can kind of target. But for you, if you got guys and Garrett, you might want to do basketball game. Make it interesting. A football game, right? Make it that way, right? Or I don't know. You guys get where I'm going, right? Or just it don't even have to be anything as expensive as that. I'm really grateful for my people, so I do things like that. But you can do it just a pizza party and keep it simple, right? Pizza, cokes, some music, whatever at a park, local park. Simple, right? Or rent a little ballroom hall or something like that. I don't know, right? Club or some shit. So, they'd be grateful for that. But again, I'm just trying to help you guys, not only when you hire your employees, be able to keep them. That's a way that you can keep them. I'm trying to help you guys be able to build your team, which is what this video was originally about. Build your team. Is very, very important to have a team, okay? Because you will get tired of trying to do everything yourself. You won't understand stuff. Like, you want to get a book on taxes. You want to get a book on publicity and marketing, stuff like that. You want to be knowledgeable about it. But if there's somebody out there that know more than you about it, you might have to outsource and pay money for that particular service, okay? So that's why you want to build that team. You want to build that team. That way you can kind of build a relationship and they won't jack you too much with the price, right? Because you're building that relationship. You're using them on an ongoing basis. Same thing with my vendors. I pay my vendors more, people that do the VCT floor cleaning for me, the people that do the window cleaning for me, the people that do the carpet cleaning for me, right? I pay them more money even being under contract, because I know if I pay them more, they'll go the extra mile for me. They'll do a great job, and I won't have no problem when I need them again. But if I'm fucking over their funds or I'm just being cheap, I'm trying to pay them 50-50, they doing all the work. Yeah, I bought them the client, but you have to remember, you might have bought them the particular client, but you're still going to make monthly residual on this contract here. This is just a one-time cleaning that they're cleaning the carpet, and they might not do it for another 6 months. They might not do it until next year, right? So here it is. You pay them one time. They're going to do it. That's it for the rest of the year. You can give them 70% or pay them more, because you're still going to be billing them each and every month, right? Because you're still going to be cleaning them, right? So the only thing is that they need this carpet cleaning one time. So you're going to get that carpet cleaning done. But after the carpet cleaning all said and done, smoke clear, you won't need them until next month, yet you're still there month after month. So why be cheap? The greedy become the needy. The greedy become the needy. Okay, and I tell people that all the time. Don't be greedy. Pay out, If it's worth it, I'd rather pay the guy well and have him do good work for me and then return and want to do more business with me than pay him shitty and then he shoved me. Now here it is, I got a job I can make $1,000 on, but I can't make $1,000 on this particular account because I shoved the guy. Yeah, you get what you pay for. Absolutely. You get what you pay for. Subcontract the work out, subcontract the work out and pay them more. Even for the people that don't want to have employees, you might want to have maybe a mom or a brother and sister team, a mom and dad team, a husband, wife team, whatever you want to call it, right? And you might have them as subcontractors where they're not employees of your company. They do the cleaning for you, but they're subcontractors. You still want to give them the same respect as you would give the employees, okay? You want to give them an extra bonus in their check, okay? Extra $50 here. They're not going to say, they're not going to turn it down. They're not going to turn it down. Give them a gift card. You don't have to necessarily do a pizza party for your subcontractors, right? They do subcontractors, whatever the case is. But you can give them, a Walmart card. You guys get where I'm going with it, right? Because you want to show that you're appreciative for it. They do a good job. They make your job a lot easier. You don't have any complaints. Why not? Why not? Okay? So I'm just trying to help you guys with how to deal with employees. Okay? So, again, Again, that's how you guys build the team. That's how you build a team from an employee standpoint. You want to look your employees up and down. You want to, background check them. Okay, you can have them do a police clearance. You can have them do a drug test. Okay, and just person by person. Don't be in a rush to hire 7 people. You might need 7 people, but hire 2, and then let those 2 people manage those 7 accounts with yourself, right? So between the 3 of you, you guys will get those 7 accounts clean. And then as you grow, you hire more people. As the revenue go up, you can afford to hire more people. But I would say, you might interview 20. Out of the 20, you might narrow it down to 2. Whoever you feel like you got a good vibe with. You check their references, check their background, see how they were with other jobs, what other employers thought of them, right? And then call them back and say, okay, yeah, want to bring you in, and we want to hire you onto the team. We want to welcome you to the team, right? And then you give them a company shirt, right? Explain what you expect from them, right? And then go ahead and put them to work, train them, put them to work, make sure they're doing their job right. But in order for you to train them, you got to be trained, okay? So again, you guys, I know it sounds easy. It's not, but with practice and continually staying at it, you'll get better at it. At what point did I completely stop? I probably stopped before my time, really. I probably stopped before my time. I stopped cleaning in Michigan when I left Michigan and went to Atlanta. I stopped at that point because I already had things systematically done, right? I had a system already. I wouldn't have left if I thought that I would lose accounts or if I thought that I would have some problems, right? Same thing from Atlanta to Toledo. I started off in Toledo, in my business off in Toledo. That's where my office is, right? So same thing, Toledo to Michigan, from Michigan to Atlanta, right? So once I felt comfortable, once I gave myself a certain dollar amount where I analyzed the business as a whole and analyzed that what I would be making salary, then I knew that I could afford to do it. But I had to feel like I could afford to do it. And that's in each state, right? Each state, that's how I kind of looked at it in my head. So if I was able to step away from the business in Michigan and move to Georgia, it's pretty safe to say that I probably thought that I had a pretty good grip on Michigan, right? Same thing for Georgia. Same thing from VA when I went to VA. I lived in all of these states, right? So, but in order for me to have it go on autopilot, I had to feel like I had a pretty good system in place. And it worked out. So now I look at myself as like the coach now. So when I come, like I'm at site now, I'm looking at cameras right here. You guys can't see what I see, but it's the cameras here. I can actually see my employees right here on camera. If I needed to make a phone call and call over to whatever building they're in, I could just pick up the phone, hit the extension, and call right over there to the building that they're in and say, hey, I see you guys monking off, or you didn't clean that corner, you didn't do that, right? And I'll be able to do that. So that's it. I mean, it's just what it is. And then when I go and check on accounts, I check on employees. If I feel like I need to check in with the contact person, I'll check in with the contact person usually during the daytime, because by the evening time they're gone. So I'll check in, call over there, stop. I don't want to just see them when I'm going to pick up a check, right? I don't want to, I want to make sure everything is good. And another thing, just because your contact people don't call you and let you know that there's a problem, don't mean that there's no problem. So it's your job to catch it before it becomes something major, and then they let you go. Also, you do want to check in, because right now, some of you guys, contractors or clients, could be looking for new companies right now. You haven't checked in, and God knows when. You don't want to check in and say, hey, are you guys looking for new cleaners? Don't fuck up yourself. Just check in and make sure everything is okay, essentially. That's all you have to do. Hey, Mrs. Thomas, hi. I'm, Jessica Rabbit, whatever the case is. I just want to make sure everything is going good, and you don't have any problems over here. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything is okay. Great. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for checking in. Okay, great. Not a problem. If you don't, go in and do it. Pick up the phone. Hi, yes, man. You ask for your contact person, right? Because they might be seconds from hiring away right from under your nose right now, seconds away. But that phone call could have changed everything, right? Just because you checked in. You checked in, you wanted to see how everything was going. They say, actually, we do have a problem. You guys are not cleaning the restrooms. Then that's the point for you to come in and analyze things. Okay, Miss Thomas, what's going on? Yeah, you see, they don't clean out the corners right here, and they don't the feminine, the feminine can right in each stall, right? They got that little, you ladies know what I'm talking about, right? Well, they're not changing that, right? You can't leave it like that, you guys. Have you ever gotten referrals from existing clients on a commercial side? Yes, yes, many times. The way the referrals generally happen for me is they invite me to like company parties, and then everybody shows up. That's affiliated with them, their vendors, people like that. And by me just showing up, I never turn it down. I never turn it down. I don't go for the food. I go just for the network because once again, I never know who I'm going to meet. So a lot of times they have like Christmas parties, Thanksgiving parties, different parties, company parties, different things like that, and they'll send you an invitation. They'll email you and say, "Hey, Cody, we have a company party. You guys are more than welcome to come in. I know this is your day of cleaning. We actually have the party. You guys can come in a little later, but you're more than welcome to stop in and get food, get drinks, and and network with us and visit us here at our party." So that's when I get the most, but I don't get as many as I used to because it's just business is just so busy these days. They don't think like that. But if you ask them, they'll be more than willing to give up information about different vendors or different contact people that they work with, if you ask them. Okay, but I would say utilize those parties and utilize those particular functions because you got to meet a lot of their people that they work with and work in conjunction with that type of thing, and you might be able to pick up a new dentist office or a new doctor's office, right? And you would never met that person had you not went to the party, or there's a high chance that you would have never met them, right? So you guys got to think business like, man. It's absolutely incredible. This business is a multi-billion-dollar a year business. It's steady growing. I like to tell people to find a niche market. Keep it small, medium to small to medium size accounts. If you feel like you can handle accounts like what I'm in, it's going to pay you in excess of 15 grand a month or 16 grand a month or whatever. Just make sure you can handle the money when it come in. Make sure you have a system in place because it feel good to get a lot of checks at the first of the month. Those checks come in and they come in abundance, and you're looking at 15 grand, 20 grand a month or whatever you're making a month. And if you never had that type of money, you might blow through it. I just want you guys to know that's not your money. It's not your money. It's not your money. It's not your money. Okay? If you want to see a fuck up, then go visit my video, story time, first $5,000 check. It's right here on this YouTube channel. Go visit my story time for first $5,000 check. What I did with my first $5,000 check. And that's fuck up at its best. Okay, that will teach you alone kind of how to utilize your funds. Okay, I want to see you guys win. It's all about building a system. It's definitely about building a system, and that's on every aspect: a marketing system, just an overall business system, an employee system. You want to have a system the way you hire and how you deal with fires and how you deal with your employees overall. Again, the more you teach them, okay, the more you teach them, the more you train them, the better employees they become. Okay, you want to build your team. You want to have your publicist, your lawyer, your accountant, right? All your business people, your photographer if you need one for whatever reason, your videographer if you need one for whatever reason, your social media personnel that handle your social media platforms, your Tumblr, this, your that, your website, webmaster, right? You want to build this team. And in order to build the team, you can, like I say, start within and start asking family, friends, and associates if they know a webmaster, right? Or if they know a publicist, right? If they know somebody, then they can refer you. At that point, if they don't know, then you Google publicist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know, webmaster in, Tampa, Florida, right? Uh, lawyers in Chicago, Illinois, right? You start Googling and just start making phone calls. Let them know you exist. Let them know, hey, I'm looking for a lawyer. I just want to know if I could come in and talk to you. Set something up to come in and talk to them. If they're a good fit, get the business card. Stay in contact with them. Position yourself, right? Check their references because there's some crooked lawyers out here, some crooked accountants. So you want to check their background, check their references, because the last thing you want is to think you got one of the best lawyers in the area and one of the best accountants, and you got to fuck up as lawyer. You got to fuck up as accountant. You got a criminal-based accountant that you didn't know about. You have a criminal lawyer that's a criminal himself, right? That's jiving people, right? So you want to make sure, because I'm telling you, when you walk in these offices and it's all plushed out and they got wood grain and this and that, and it looks nice, and it's they suited and booted and got the everything they together. It looks so professional, and it can be intimidating sometimes, right? Because they're professional, they're lawyers in this, but you just want to make sure that they have a pretty decent track record before you really call them your lawyer and hire them on, right? And dealing with them, okay. um, I'm just trying to help you guys out because I hate to see you get jived over. You guys have any questions for me? Anything that I haven't hit, that I haven't covered, haven't answered? I'd be more than willing to do so right now. Just want to make sure you guys, I got 12 people watching me. I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, man, on any level, as you guys see, I don't really do a whole lot of live anymore. And it's slowly dwindling down. Probably next week, I'm going to go back to just doing just the videos and not the live. Okay? Because I feel like I spend entirely too much time. Why do I use the females over males? Because females pay more attention. Even when like cleaning homes and things like that, females pay more. They're more detailed. They pay way more attention than males. Males, I feel like they try to rush the job. They don't focus on the details of the job. They try to get in and get out. Women just innately, they just pay more attention, right? I don't have a problem with them showing up for work. A lot of women, especially these days, they have kids, and they want to be able to provide for their kids, so they show up to work. The only problem that I have with my female workers, God help them, Jesus Christ, they be on what I call Nicki Beyonce. I got this thing around the not the office, but within my crew. I say, you guys are Nicki Beyonce's. I call them Nicki. I blend Beyonce with Nicki Minaj, so I call them Nicki Beyonce. That's my name. I say, hey, you're on your Nicki Beyonce today, right? Because they have the lashes done, the nails, they too pretty, and I have a problem with the fact of them. They don't want to stick to they want to wear the uniform the way they want to wear it. They want to tuck the shirt down in the leggings. I tell them, do not wear leggings. It's a distraction. Certain items I don't let them wear. No leggings, no jeggings, no capris, nothing like that. Just wear khaki pants. They can wear dickies, but women, it just kind of prissy and stuff, But for the most part, they pay close attention to the details for me. Okay, so I don't have a problem with the work. It's just sometimes where they on they Nicki Beyonce shit or they cash down shit, right? Where they think they Barbies and stuff like this is where sometimes they think they too pretty for the job. They, you have those type of problems. But other than that, man, they show up. Uh, I don't really have to deal with any tardiness or them being late. We have a system in place for everything, but um, they just pay close attention. I find it work better for me that way hiring women. I try to hire women that I don't know because once I have a relationship, when I say relation, I don't necessarily mean they was my girlfriend, but once I have a personal relationship with them, whether they're family, friends, or somebody I went to school with, something like that, I tend to not to want to hire them because I don't want them. Please don't stop going live. um, when I won't stop. I would just, I might do it once a month or twice a month, but I'm gonna do more just recorded videos. Go back to the basics, right? But anyway, like I said, that's pretty much what it boiled down to, and that's why I hire women over the males. So yeah, you guys have any more questions? Let me see here. Any more questions? If you guys watching, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that, you guys. I'm trying to build up my subscription list. I'm trying to be more transparent with you guys. I will offer conference calls, free conference calling. That way you can get on the line with me. A lot of my subscribers will be able to call into the 800 number, enter the code. That's coming up very, very soon. So if you want to join that list, you have to email me, put conference call, excuse me, in the subject line. That way I can add you. And when we launch the conference call, you'll be able to get on and be able to talk to me personally, ask questions over the phone. Instead of always doing it here on live, you'll be able to just talk to me, like all you guys on a conference call. But it's going to be invitation only. So that's something. Just put conference call and, say add me to the email list for conference call. And we'll add you. You guys have any more questions for me? Any questions for me? Any more questions for me? You guys think of any more questions? Marketing, startup questions, employee questions, dealing with new contracts. No problem, Neonta. I hope I'm saying your name right, Neonta. Yeah, I just wanna make sure you guys, get all your answers answered. Um, if it's something that you're struggling with right now, is the right time to bring it up. Don't be shy. There's no such thing as a stupid question. If it's any way that I can help you guys, I'm trying to do that. Um, if you need me to take a look at your paperwork and contracts, I know a few people wanted me to take a look at their contracts. I'll be more than willing to take a look at them. Just email it to me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's BOOKFABIOHART@gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. I'll take a look at your contracts, uh, proposals, agreements, whatever you have going, whatever you found that you want to get my input on. I'll take a look at it. I'll let you know if I think it's a good contract or a good form or whatever the case is. I'll let you know. If it's something I think you should add to the contract, add to the form, I would note it in the email. That way you can make the adjustments. So um, that way you can, build your agreement the right way, or whatever form that you have. Um, let me see if it's anything that I could throw at you guys. Also, you guys might want to, when you do your billing, when you start billing your clients, you might want to bill them at a net 15 and a net 30. Some of them. Okay. Some you might want to do net 15. That way you got money coming in every other week. If you do a net 15. Okay. Net 30 is just once a month. Net 15 bi-weekly. Okay. Like me, some of my accounts I get paid bi-weekly on. Okay. And majority of my accounts I get paid monthly on. My residential clients, some I get paid daily on, and some I pick up the check at the end of the week. It's weekly. So with my residential clients, it's always the day of I get paid, like after service, or we will pick it up at the end of the week. Most people would probably suggest or want to pay you after the service is rendered. Just go ahead and get the payment out the way. Okay, so that's for you guys that's doing residential contracts. You will either want to pick it up maybe like at the end of the week, especially if you're doing multiple days, which is very rare. Most of them are once or twice a week in residential, but a lot of them want to pay you right after you do the service, after the service is rendered. So, um, which is a total different dynamic, but keep it on the commercial side of things. You guys do want to mix it up. You don't want to have all your money coming in on a net 30. Well, I wouldn't say you don't want to. I would suggest you not to. That way you can have money coming in, around the month, right? Like you can break it up. So you don't just have to look for checks every month where you can look for it every 2 weeks, right? You don't just have to wait to the first of the month to get the checks. You can get them bi-weekly. So you can just set maybe your smaller accounts up, your medium-sized accounts up. Some you could just say, I need at least 6 clients to pay bi-weekly, right? I just made that number up in my head, but you can use whatever. You can say, well, 6 clients I'm gonna submit where they have to pay, bi-weekly. That's how we're gonna bill them bi-weekly. You just let them know that that's how you're gonna be billing them. You don't ask them, is it okay? Would they mind? Again, you guys have to stop asking stuff like that. You have to just let them know how you're billing. If they say, unfortunately, we don't bill that way, we only bill on a net 30. And if you feel comfortable with it, you say, well, fuck it, I'll do the net 30. Then do the net 30. Okay, I wouldn't say turn it down just because they say they don't do it bi-weekly, right? But you can push for that. But it's all with your approach. It's all how your professionalism. Another thing, guys, and I keep telling people this. I had a guy I spoke to the other day, yesterday to be exact. How you go in there and how you look is going to be a great factor if you get hired. How you look when you walk in on your door to door will be a determining factor if you get hired, because you have to look the part. You have to look professional. Okay, you have to look professional. From the hair to, like me, I can't go looking like this, right? I'm at the job site now, but if I'm going door to door, I can't look like this. So even with my braids, I pull them back in a ponytail. I have a button-up shirt. I'm crispy. I'm shaved or whatever the case is, right? I smell good. Got Listerine strips or Listerine spray. Fresh breath. We good to go. Make sure I brush my teeth. Everything is good, right? That you want to look your best. I'm telling you, you want to look your best because you're going to get judged on that. You're going to get absolutely. You're going to get judged on that. They don't know how you clean initially, but they know how you look. And if you don't look like somebody that they would want in the office cleaning, guess what? You're not going to get hired. You're not going to be that person that they hire you. Guys, make sure you be crispy. Okay? In terms of, your shirts, you don't want a ring around the neck. Ladies, don't be overly or explicitly dressed, you know. And I tell women, and women got an advantage, really, because a lot of the counterparts they're going to be dealing with, from what I see, are generally speaking males. But don't be skanky, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be professional. But you have an advantage. If you walk in and you look beautiful, a guy in his head, he's probably going to be like, oh, she's beautiful. Yeah, we're going to hire her. But you don't want to be low cut, V neck, cleavage showing, and you on your Nicki Beyonce. Your woman skirt, your dress is tight as shit. Like you can't even kneel. Like you don't want to be over the top. Or your slack pants are super tight. Like you can see everything, right? You don't want to be that way. I'm trying to tell you because some people don't get it, and then I get the phone call. And when I ask them, well, did you try this? Did you try that? Well, what did you wear? How did you look? Or this and this and that. And they were like, well, all right, Fabio, I'm going to send you a picture of what I wore. And I'm like, what the fuck? They look nice, but that's not the right outfit for what they should have been, for this particular event. Right? Parking lot jobs, those are pretty decent accounts to pick up. Um, it depends on how big the parking lot is, exactly what you have to do for parking lot cleanup. Those are pretty decent accounts. It can be, especially with the weather changing like this, and at least in my region, can be very, very good accounts. You can go after parking structures, parking lots, you know. I can't tell you how much to charge because every parking lot is different. The dynamics is different on every parking lot. I don't know, if you're just going to be picking up litter or if you're going to be sweeping the whole thing or, you know, it's just many different things to it. But it could be a lot of good money in that. Small parking lot, daily trash. Uh, how often? How often will you be doing it? Every day? Every other day? How long do you think it'll take you? About how big? How big? Give me a square feet. How big you think the square footage of it is? An hour? Uh, $20. $20 parking lot pickup. Probably won't even take an hour. $20. You do multiply that on a daily rate. It's like window cleaning. It won't take that long to clean. Probably won't even take the whole hour, right? If it's that small. $20. You would be amazed at how many accounts you get. And that's just me going off the top of my head, not even seeing it, right? Like, $20 an hour. Who get paid $20 an hour, right? So take you an hour, that's $20. They hire weekly on that. All right, so you just multiply the 20. They hire weekly on that or daily on that. Well, sign them up for a weekly account, because again, the more days you get in, more money you make. So you just do it $20. If it take you an hour a day, and you do it for let's say 5 days a week, you made $100, right? Quickly. With what, 5 hours, $100. That's $20 a day, an hour a day times 5 hours, right? $100. And that's just me just coming off the top of the head. Like I say, I'm just throwing some figures out. I don't know, But if you're thinking it'll take you about an hour, I would say $20. That's fair. multiply times 5 days. If you're doing it for 5 days, $100. And then if you get multiple accounts like that, you'll be able to do a shitload per day, right? You just go to the next parking lot. You can do them $20, right? Depending on how big. I don't know, how big it is, but if you're just picking up just daily trash and you're not sweeping, having to do anything major, you're just picking up debris, Reese cups, cookie wrappers and shit, $20, you got the little sweeper thing. And how far should we go to get started in the business? What you mean, how far should we go to get started in the business? What you mean by that? I don't know what you mean when you say to get in. What you mean? How far should you go to get in? What do you mean? To get in where? To get in. What you mean? Get in business? I don't know what you mean when you say how far should we go to get in business. You should go as far as you desire. I don't know if you're talking about, if you're asking me like how much money should you make. You should just keep racking it up if that's the case. I don't know if you're asking me. I don't know exactly what you're asking me when you say. When should we start the cleaning business? ASAP. The market is wide open everywhere USA. When? ASAP. ASAP. But you should do it every single day. That's why it took me 90 days to get one account, because I got relaxed, right? And I got people who's doing rings around me right now, monthly, watching my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, I had, guys make $6,000 in a month. No bullshit. Call me, man. He hadn't ordered nothing from me, no contract, no lead generation, nothing. He made $6,000 just watching my videos. Sent me a letter thanking me and everything, pictures and of his contracts, and this is recent. This will probably be his second month. I think. He eventually had joined I think my lead generation, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he's doing quite well. But before he ordered anything, he $6,000, right? But you got to stay consistent. And he was going after everything, like spas and gyms and clinics, and he was just throwing rocks at everything. You know what I'm saying? What they call it, strip malls and things like that, just walking in, he was just throwing his hand at everything, and shit just started sticking. But he was using the techniques that I speak on here on YouTube. He started developing himself and feeling good, because again, when you guys dress up, have you noticed when you dress up, your whole swag changes? Like when you dress up, you feel good about yourself. And that come across when you go door to door. That for me it does. Like I feel like I'm posh. Leave it alone. Let's go. I can go in and I feel like I can sell apples at the apple orchard. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way you feel, because the way you look brings out a whole different you, a different swag, a different level of confidence. That's why I tell people to look your best, to get yourself together. For my ladies, when you feel beautiful, it come across beautiful. You ladies know that, man. They get together, for my fellas, when you got fresh haircut and you feel like you dabbing there and everything, your whole swag is different, right? You don't even want to sit down. You don't want to bump up against. You feel super clean, right? So that's going to come across, and you need that type of, because when you're not sure of yourself. I had a guy yesterday. The date was it must have been Saturday. Spoke to him. He said, "Man, to be honest, I think I'm not really sure of myself." He said, "I don't think I'm really sure of myself." And he was like, "I get the walkthroughs. Like I get going to the walkthroughs, but I can never close because I don't think I think I come across as I'm not sure of myself. I'm not, I'm not selling it right or whatever." And I'm like, you got to have that level of confidence. If you don't believe in your product or service, nobody else will. If you do not believe in your product or service, nobody else will. How does I chit chat to get that contract connected? That contract connected. I'm not sure what you're asking me when you say how does I chit chat to get. I'm not sure what you're asking me. Maybe you need to reword that for me, and not. Maybe I can help you there. But yeah, you guys, again, I want you guys to stay focused. I want you to stay persistent. I want you to stay consistent. If you need to come back to some of my old videos or some of the training that I have here on the videos, make sure you do that. Okay, I got people probably up right now. I know there's people that do their accounts listening to my videos. It's people, and this is what they tell me. It's people that wake up, on the weekends, listen to my videos, have the earbuds in their ear, go to sleep listening to my videos. This is what they tell me. It's people that take notes, look at my videos like they're in a college, they got a college exam or something. This is what they tell me. Okay, just random, just different videos. I got over 400 some odd videos, probably pretty close to, yeah, yeah. See, I got people that, like Neonta said, I got people, that look at my videos like a college course. You know, if you need to visit some of the old videos, you guys visit some of the old stuff. It's still relevant today. I just try to give you guys a lot of content in a different way. Just a lot of content. A lot of YouTubers not spending 2 hours and 20 minutes on live with you guys, right? They're not really breaking it down in a systematic way where you can understand it and where you can absorb it and make it work for you. To get the parking lot cleaned up, how to chit chat with the boss. Well, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. You have to figure out who owned that lot. Is it a car lot? Is it a parking? Is it a store lot? Right? Is a lot of different lots. Is it a strip mall lot? So you have to see who owned that development in the strip mall. See, it's all business, all thinking. You have to find a way to get to it. A store lot, okay, if it's like a corner store lot or a party store, then you just go in a party store and talk to the decision maker. Figure out who the decision maker is there. Who would hire you to do that? If it's a parking structure or a parking lot where cars park and they flag a man and you park, you pay $5 to park here on this lot, that type of thing. If it's one of those things, you find out who's renting that lot. Who's licensed to park cars there. You find out who's the appropriate person, and then you contact that person. Some of these lots might have numbers on them, like to park here you have to call 1-800 woulda. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So you just have to be strategic about it. There's no one way to get these contracts. You just have to be strategic. I wish I could tell you it's it's a one answer fit all, but it's not. Like police department. Yeah, police. You just go in there and talk to the police. Go into the precinct, talk to them. Introduce yourself. Leave your business card. Tell them what you do. Ask them who would the appropriate person be for you to talk to in regards to that. All right. And you might be fortunate like me. I have a police station that we clean. Right. I have a police station that we clean. You just walk in, and now it's hard for me to get workers to go there because people just don't like working around police. But I've even went after funeral homes. Matter of fact, I got to do some follow-up phone calls behind that. Um, I stopped at a few funeral homes. Okay, somebody will work there. It won't be me. I'll train them, and put them in there if they don't mind working. You know, go ahead. Churches, yeah, same thing. You just contact the church owner, the pastor, or whoever the decision maker. Whatever parking lot you want to go after, dude, you contact that owner. If it's a church parking lot, you got to contact maybe the pastor. I don't know, or the administration part of that, right? If it's a party store, you walk in a party store, say, hey, with your shirt, you want to look professional. Have your shirt on, have your cap on. Let them know, hey, have your little brief bag. You don't want to just seem like you're just walking in off the street. You don't want to be in regular clothes. You want to be, presentable the same way so they can take you serious. Churches, same way. Dentist office, parking structures. You got these parking structures where the cars park in the structure. Same way. Uh, you have office park structures, office park buildings, where they got multi, business in the one building or whatever. You got the parking outside. Yeah, you just go in there, let them know what you do. Figure it out. Strip malls, you find out who's the appropriate person. All you have to do is just go ask a few of them. With the briefcase, no, I don't have a briefcase when I go in. I have a folder. I have a folder. It's like a 5-star folder with the zipper, right? You zip it all the way around, or you got a strap over to the strap with the zipper. That way, I got my business cards. I got an ink pen. I got a pencil. Um, I got some flyers, some brochures, some contracts, my estimate breakdown sheet. Uh, uh, my estimate proposal sheet or bidding sheet, so I could put in my estimate, put in my bid, put in my proposal, my quote. I got the whole shebang. It's all in one folder. That way I'm ready. And whatever I don't have in the folder, a lot of times I have in the car as a backup. So that way I don't clutter my folder out. I have it backed up in the car in individual folders, either them vanilla folders or you just get them regular double pocket, folders. And, the little cheap folders. It don't have to be anything fancy or anything. Get those double pocket folders, label them, applications, uh, estimate breakdown sheet, whatever the case is, flyers, right? So that way, when you go out to the car, you know what they are, right? You just go look for your flyer folder, pick flyer out, take it back in, give it to them. You never want to run out of stuff. Again, I told you guys my car kit. That's my car kit. I keep a car kit because I never know when I'm gonna have to write up an agreement. AutoZone. I never went after AutoZone, but it's a building. I'm sure they need it to be clean. I would suggest you probably just stop in there. You know, stop in there. They're a building. Every building needs to be clean. Whether they do it in-house or whether they hire a contractor. I would just stop in there. Banks, whatever. Strip malls, restaurants. I got a guy that I talked to yesterday. He only do restaurants. That's his niche. Right? Office parks. Um, whatever. Hair salons, spas, malls, schools, daycare, banks, doctor's office, maybe a gas station parking lot cleanup. I know you was talking about that. For the guy that was talking about that, you can hit up gas stations, gyms. I'm just kind of giving you guys some ideas. Hopefully you're writing this stuff down or you come back to it. Law firms, insurance companies. I think I said daycare centers, barbershops, beauty salons, uh, insurance agencies, um, apartment buildings, apartment complexes, Residential, for those that's in the residential. Um, Funeral. It's just so much money out here, guys. Have a sign on it. You might not even see an address, but you might see cars in a parking lot. Just pull up in there. Pull up in there. You don't know what they do, but go in there and figure it out. If it's something that you might want to do. You might be driving around and driving past this one building all the time, or for my people that ride the bus or use Uber or whatever the case is. You might be getting off of work and you got the same route that you go every day and you just don't know what they do in this building. Hop out the Uber, right? Get off the bus line and be like, shit, I'm gonna take a chance to go walk in here. Shit, didn't nobody know you got off the bus. You just went in, bam. Figure it out, go and see what they do, right? Leave out, shit. You don't want to see you at the bus, walk up five block, 5 stops up or something, right? I'm just telling you guys, this is real world shit. I don't care if you have a car, you don't have a car. I don't care if you're either living in a shelter right now or you have a home. I don't care if it's rough or it's easy for you right now. I don't care if you have kids or you don't have kids right now. You absolutely have to find a way. You have to find a way. You have to find a way. It was not easy for me in February 2012. It was cold as shit, right? But I was out there consistently. I almost gave up. You heard me talk about it earlier. It was just something in me that said, hey, I'm Fabio Hart. I have to keep going, right? It's just this, I don't know what is it about me. I'm a Virgo. It's just something about them Virgos, right? I don't know. Like, I'm like, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. And I stayed at it. I stayed at it. I stayed at it. I was not getting traction, you guys. I was getting hung up on the phones because I wasn't sure if I was saying the right shit. I was going door knocking. It was hard for me in the beginning because I would come in, my breath go out. I'm talking to who would I speak to about cleaning? Like I didn't know what to say. But after I kept knocking doors, it got better for me. Got better for me. Got better for me. Right? It got better for me. It got better for me. I'm walking up the street just rehearsing in my head, like just going to the next building, just rehearsing what I should say. How I'm supposed to say. You know, what type of game face. I didn't want to look mean. I wanted to look happy. I wanted to look professional. I wanted to look presentable. You know, I'm cold and everything. Like I say, it was tough. It was tough. It wasn't a cakewalk for me. It was tough. I wanted to get my first account in the first 60 days, and I got it in the first 90 days. Between 60 and 90, I got my first account. I don't remember exactly what number of the day, what number, but between 60 and 90, I got it in my first 90 days. But I thought I was going to get it in 2 months, my first 60 days. But I didn't get it. And again, I got people driving circles around me right now, right here on YouTube, killing me off of information that I learned through trial and error, and I'm giving it to you guys. I know this stuff works if only you utilize it. I want you guys to win. Is there a certain business? Is there a certain, let me see here. I find medical facilities to be a lot easier for me to clean. Chiropractors' offices, dentist offices, medical clinics. I love them, and they pay good. Have you ever, have you people work for you free exchange for free mentoring? No, David, I never had that. Had people work for me just like an intern almost, for free, for work for me for free for like a mentoring for me to kind of mentor them or teach them or intern. No, I haven't. I haven't had that. You guys have any questions for me? Please get your questions out, you guys. If you have something that's bothering you, if you have something that's stopping you, let's talk about fear, the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown. What are you scared of? Let's talk about attitude you should have. Whatever, if it's just something that's going on with you guys. Let me see. It took me 90 days to get my very first account. 90 days, so 3 months. It took me 3 months to get one account. That's because I was off and on. I would go ham one week. The next week I wouldn't go so ham. I pick back up, going. I'm just all the way retarded with it. I'm just out trying to knock it out the box. Next week I slow down a little bit. I wasn't consistent. So that's why it took me so long. Had I stayed consistent like some of my YouTube subscribers that do what I teach now every day, pay good? Yeah, pay good. Is it possible? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Do you feel like if you have multiple accounts in different states, it's hard to keep up with the quality of work? Not if you have a quality person in place, Neonta. If you have a quality person that's representing you, that's in place of you, right? That looks at the accounts or look at the business as their business while they're in that particular state while you're not there, then it should be okay. Okay? And you can always fly in and you can always check with the account supervisor, your supervisor, and you can always follow up behind your supervisor and check with the actual contact person, right? Just to make sure that everything is going well. Let me see here. Excuse me. Attitude is probably a good topic. You normally don't go too deep. Attitude. Attitude is just one of those things where you have to know what you want and you have to know like deep down inside that you can do it. A lot of people have the wrong attitude based on what somebody else think about them. That's generally the number one thing that I hear that cause people not to go far with the commercial cleaning business or even residential cleaning. Because someone told them or made them feel a certain way about starting that business, they feel like they can't do it. They have the wrong attitude. Okay? And simply put, the attitude that they don't have, that they need, is self-motivation, self-reliant. They have to do for self. You have to have that assurance within yourself in terms of just a positive mental attitude. You have to know that deep down in your soul that you can do it. And you can't let nobody talk you out of it. Because what I found, the people that would try to talk you out of it, 9 times out of 10 are the people that's not even doing anything with their own life. I mean, they don't even necessarily even have a job, and they're trying to talk you out of it. I tell people, don't get excited and get to telling people everything about your move. Just go with your move. Just go with your move. We already know that life is like a chess game. When you make the wrong move, it's checkmate. Right? We already know that. So making the wrong move in this instinct is telling people who really don't care about the move either way. They don't care if you get checkmate or if you win it on the board. They don't care. Okay, so that's why you have to have a great attitude. You have to know deep down in yourself, in your soul, and just in your belly that you can get it done. You have to set up some parameters in your own mind. You have to plan it out the night before. Most of us, we don't plan things out. That's the wrong attitude to have. You have to plan it out. Attitude is just a part of it, but faith is another part of it, right? You have to have faith in yourself and a great attitude. You have to be resilient, okay? Self-assured. See, people call me cocky. They say, Fabio, he's arrogant. No. I'm not arrogant. I just won't allow you to trick me out of my position. Uh, I worked at a store called, before I started my cleaning business, I worked at a store called Sports Authority. It's a sporting goods store. It no longer operates. It's out of business. But I was in the shoe department. So I sold like the tennis shoes and the comfortable shoes and the best workout shoes. I was real big over there. I was one of the top producers. And I did like it because I can be very introverted, but I can also be very extroverted. And I met amazing people. And I like the fact that people came in the store that just to see me. People came in and say, "Well, where's the guy with the curly hair with the long ponytail?" They used to call me Ponytail or Curly. Curly is actually my nickname, but from the family, right? So people used to be like, "Where's Curly?" Oh, he's in the shoe department. Oh, I didn't see him. Is he working today? Yeah, he's here. So people would actually come in and buy their shoes from me. Call on the phone. Is Curly working today? Is the guy with the in the shoe that with the curly hair? Is he working? Right? And I like that. I like that they will, out of all of the people that they can see to sell them shoes, they would come to see me because I had a positive personality. I was engaging. I actually helped them with the shoe. What was a better shoe? What did you need? The shoe? Was you working out? Did you need a running shoe? Are you looking for a comfortable shoe? Are you just looking for a stylish shoe? Just a style, right? Are you looking for like a hunting shoe that you're climbing up, you know, whatever, right? Heels or whatnot. Certain different type of shoes, right? So I would try to figure out what they need to shoe, and I would try to assist them the best way I could. What made me start my own business? Well, way before 2012, I will get this magazine. It no longer exists, but this magazine used to be called Small Business Opportunity Magazine. And I would get it every single month or every 2 months or whenever it came out. And they had, MLM programs. You always see the guy with the cartoon guy on the cover with a hand of cash and the cash coming out the computer and all of this stuff. And I was like, man, I got to get a business, bro. Like, I got to get a business because I was the type of guy, I respect you until you disrespect me. So when someone at the work site or at the job place will say, Fabio, go to lunch, or Fabio, go to register 2. I'm looking like, who the who the fuck he think he talking to like that? And I would actually tell my bosses, I'm like, are you asking me or are you telling me? I'm telling you, I'm like, listen, look, you're just a supervisor here. We're both grown. We're both human. We both have our own individual bills. I say, if you want me to operate on the level that you want me to operate, and this is what I would tell them, then you have to deal with me a certain way. You have to deal with me a certain way. Because I can't pick up the phone and call you and say, don't put me on the schedule. I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna be off. What's today? Wednesday. I'm gonna be off Thursday. Don't put me on the schedule for Thursday. I can't say that to you. And if I did, you might say, no, you're on the schedule. Since since that's the way you want to be, you're on the schedule for Thursday. Fabio Hart, make sure you're here 9 a.m. You're on the schedule for Thursday. But maybe if my approach was, hello, man, I speak to Jack. Hi, Jack, this is Fabio Hart. I got something real important to do on Thursday. I'm requesting Thursday off. Would it be okay if I switch days, or would it be okay if I get that day off? Would it be okay? Is it okay? Do you mind? Would you mind? See, it's your approach. But if I would have just called and say, "Oh, I'm not gonna be there Thursday. Don't put me on the schedule." Oh no, you have to be here, or we're gonna terminate you. We gotta. See, you wouldn't like that. So, dude, don't talk to me like that. Are you asking me or are you telling me? So that was one way I knew I didn't work good with instructions. When they tell you to do something, that was me. You know, I remember I worked at McDonald's, and I'm kind of off a topic here. I worked at McDonald's for 3 days. I worked at McDonald's for 3 days, and then I quit. I quit because they're like, Fabio, you have to do this, you have to do that. And because I wasn't flipping the burgers as fast, I wasn't professional. You know, when you're just doing I boom, and then I jump back because I don't want the grease to fly on me. And then I hit the other one. I jump back. I didn't want the grease. They like, Fabio, you gotta. They doing it fast. They doing it fast. I'm like, what the? I'm like, bro, I can't do it that fast. I'm like, I'm telling you, you want me to do it that fast? All these burgers gonna be on the floor because I've been and flipped them all on the floor. I'm like, I ain't professional like that. I don't know how to do it like that yet. And they, doing it fast and shit. And I'm like, look, I'm like, you guys got, one more time to rush me on it. This is the fast food restaurant. Why did you put an application? I'm like, you have to be patient with me. I'm not professional yet. And I quit. Like so it just wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for me. Right? I worked at let me see. I worked at a bank. They told me I had to keep my hair a certain way. I said, no, I'm not. I said, I'm not doing it. They wanted me to put my hair in a bun. Now, I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting in the bun. I'm not doing it. Crazy as hell. So I would tell them what I'm not doing. Like, it wouldn't work with me. But with the shoe, what happened with that is they started lowering my hours. They started lowering my hours because people kept asking for me. Where's the guy with the curly hair? Is Fabio here today? Where's ponytail? Whatever. And they started lowering my hours, right? And before long, they made it hard for me to be able to pay any bill. So I had to quit. I took off. I ordered the course out of the magazine, the small business magazine. Yeah, so try to run a brother. Yep, so I took off. I ordered the course. It took them 5 days for me to get the course. It's called Your Clean Future. I bought them all out the course. They don't operate no more. And I read it from cover to cover. I sat on it for like 2 weeks after I read it, which means I didn't do anything with it. I just read it, and then I just started getting out there. Like I say, I wanted my account in the first 60 days. I just knew I was going to get it, and I got it in 90 days, my very first account. And then it seemed like it came easier for me after my first account. And I started getting the other accounts, and I went back to the phones, and I started getting traction. I had ordered another course to help me with my script and, doing the phones. So that's kind of how it worked for me, you guys. So, I'm practical. I'm not going to give you guys no pie in the sky like I came into money. No, I was struggling, bro. Like, I had to really put my mind and really believe in myself. And had I not believed in myself, we would not be having this conversation today. We would not. Now my company doing the excess of $250,000 revenue. That's gross. You know what I'm saying? And that's just with cleaning alone. I do Direct Auto Network, which is my auto part where I broker cars, right? Public speaking, I haven't been doing a lot of that. Freelance modeling, I haven't been doing a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? But I build up to that point. And I'm steady trying to build. I want to take my company to $1 million company, right? I'm doing better than a lot of franchises. I actually have franchise calling me, asking me certain things. At franchise people watch my videos, call me, try to act like they don't understand the business, and I compete right there. That's a franchise person. They trying to act slow, think they about to trick me out of my position. I send them right back to YouTube and tell them they gotta watch the video, or they gotta cut the check and talk to me. They gotta pay me. So that's just how it is, man. I mean, it's just, that's just what it boils down to, you guys. So I want you guys to stay persistent, right? And nobody believed in me. When it wasn't working for me, I feel like I was the Cardi B. If you guys know the Cardi B story, how she came up, I feel like nobody believed in her because she was a little stripper. You know, nobody believed in her, right? And then she got the pop, and now everybody riding, right? So that's just what it is. Like with me, nobody believed in me. Girls that I was dating, they flipped on me. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. That's what's up. Nobody believed in me. Family didn't believe in me. So I had to really get it out the mud. Where you, I don't know if you spelled that right. I don't, I don't know what you're asking me. I'm thinking you asking me if I'm Dominican. I'm not sure. You stay up north or south? I stayed both. I stayed in Atlanta. I'm originally from Toronto, by the way of New Orleans. When I came to America, I moved to New Orleans, and but I'm mixed. I'm Trinidadian, Blackfoot, Native American, Pakistani. So a lot of times people be asking me like, "Are you from the South or whatever?" No, I'm from the North. But you probably hear that, that New Orleans base, you know. But anyway, that's just how it was with me, guys. Um, so I mean, you gotta have that confidence level. You can't let nobody. I'm probably due for another story time. I'll probably give you guys another story time by this weekend, because I got a bunch of business stories I could tell you guys. Cleaning wasn't my first business. One of my first business ventures was selling vitamins from home. I did well with that, even before computers was popping. Like, so, but I managed to find a way. And I learned that from Don Lapre. Like, I took Don Lapre. I don't know if you guys know him. He's the guy that was on the infomercial. All you have to do is order the Making Money package for $39.95, and you can make yourself an absolute fortune. All you have to do is just call the number on the screen right now. We can set you up with your very own 1-900 line, and you can make yourself an absolute fortune. Like, so I got caught up in that. I got a chance to meet Don. He was a mentor before he passed away. And he taught me everything, like, about business. Like, he taught me everything. And I took it from there. I modeled his vitamin company. He had a company called Greatest Vitamins in the World. I had a company called Vitamin Pro International. My parent company was, which mean the top umbrella company was called International Business Strategies, but the underlying company was Vitamin Pro International. Okay, so that was like under the umbrella. But anyway, I was selling vitamins. I just modeled what Don Lapre did, and I was like making thousands of dollars. And I didn't even have a computer at the time, so I was processing credit card orders. And what I would do is I would market throughout the course of the day, answer the phones, and then I would go to the library, sign into my credit card terminal system, like where you key it in online, and I would key all my credit card orders in online at the library. And it's crazy because I would have to go from library to library because they only gave me an hour free, right? And then you would have to pay. So I was so cheap, or I didn't have the money, and I would go to another library and key whatever I didn't wasn't able to key within that hour. And I racked up some pretty good money. And then I would wake up in the morning and call the ACH line, which is the line for the credit card processor. They were like, "You have deposit $3,619.35 in your account." I was like, "What the?" Like, I was because I was just keying it in. I was just trying to hurry up and get everybody order in because I wasn't gonna ship out the vitamins until it cleared, like it hit my account. So what I did is took the money out of that account, my business account. I would clean it out because I was scared that some money was going to be taken out, and I know about chargebacks. It automatic reverse to take out of my account. So I would clean the account up, bring it to a zero balance, or I'd probably leave $5 in there, and I would put that money into my regular account because I didn't want I wanted to control everything, and I was afraid because people order your vitamins, order your stuff, they'll charge it back, and then the bank is automatically. See, this is what you learn over the time, guys. Like when you order something, like let's take Amazon for an example. Amazon got a different way they do it now, but it used to be you can charge it back, you can get an item, you would charge it back, and Amazon automatically reverse the charge back to their card, right? So here it is, like they got the item and they get the money back. You know what I'm saying? Because they automatically just reverse that charge back over. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn how credit card processors. You thank God I don't have that today, but I didn't get many people sending vitamins back, but that was my mentality, and I learned that from Don LaPree, right? So that's just how it is, guys. Like you model, so modeling, but then eventually the vitamin business. Yeah, they do that on eBay too. Yeah, yeah. How many employees am I? You know what? To be honest, I really can't tell you. I really don't know. I have a lot of employees. I have a lot of accounts. Because I have accounts in Michigan and not just Detroit. I mean, like suburban areas and surrounding other parts like Benton Harbor, Michigan. We just picked up a contract in Illinois, Indiana. It's a property management company. So I had to hire there. Like I got like I wish I could give you a number, but I don't want to exaggerate the number. It's under 100, but I don't know the exact number. I'll put it that way. I would probably estimate it being less than 50. What's the quickest way to build business credit? Cell phone, I wouldn't say not necessarily. Business credit is totally different than just like personal credit. So you just have to establish your business credit. Um, that's a whole nother video. I think I'll do a video by this weekend just talking about business credit because I actually get asked that a lot. People want to know how to acquire it and different things like that. So that's going to be an upcoming video. Let me make a note of that. That's going to be an upcoming video. What other video did I say, guys? I wanted to do a business credit video. What else did I say? Did I say another story time? I think I said a story time video. Time video. Give you guys some of my business stories, some of my flaws. Yeah, business credit. I'm gonna do that by this weekend. You guys got any more questions for me? You know how to put them contracts and writing statements or for how many months? Yeah, I have it available already. I have it available already, yep. But you could probably find it online. You could probably find it online. It's going to be probably a generic one. Contracts, just email me. bookfabiohart@gmail.com. 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 Frederick. Do you background check your employees or not necessarily? Yes, I do. I do background check my employees and drug test them. and they have to get a police clearance. Look like my employees are starting to leave. Great, thanks. Police clearance, what's that? Police clearance is just a document that the police would give them to clear them, saying that they don't have anything outstanding. Because when you do a background check, like let's say you did a crime today, that's not going to necessarily show up on your background check immediately, right? It'll take maybe like 90 days or so for it to process to show up on the background check. So you can have something ongoing now, right, and put in an application with me, and I won't see that charge for what you did yesterday, for an example, right? But if I have you go and do a police clearance and you don't get cleared, or you have whatever you have going on, it'll show up or either stop you from getting the police clearance, right? So I'm gonna know exactly what that detail is, what that charge is. So that's something you'll go into your local precinct and ask for a police clearance. You'll say, "Hey, I'm looking to get a job." They ask me to go to my local precinct to get a police clearance. Who paid those? You are the employee. What do you mean? For the police clearance, the employee. No, I'm too busy to show you how to write one. But if you get one, I can overlook it and tell you if it's good to use, or you can get mine. It's pretty pricey, but I mean, if you can find one, that's better, and I could take a look at it. But I won't be able to kind of sit down and show you how to write one. But I can take a look at one that you submit to me and let you know what I think about that. Because see, my contract covers like window cleaning, carpet cleaning, VC floor cleaning. My subcontractors can use my contract. Uh, you know, obviously my clients, right? So we cover a lot of different avenues. So it's not necessary. You can, Melinda. Melinda asked me, should you be certified? You can, but it's not necessary. Man, I want you guys to win so bad, bro. Like, I don't know why I want you. I think I want you guys to win because, to be honest, man, I really have a attachment to my subscribers, and that's why I spend like damn what is it 3 hours sitting here just trying to get the questions out or whatever. That way, if you guys ever like play this back or just skim forward, skip through it and come back to it, you can always kind of get your answers, whatever you missed. But you guys have to, like, I don't know how to put it, because it seemed like just like yesterday I was in you guys' shoes in terms of that's what it seemed like in my head. So I know what you guys are going through when it's hard to get these contracts. You don't have all the answers, but I swear, just start taking steps. Just start taking steps. If it sounds right and it's something that you think you should do, just go for it. Go for it. Mess up. It's okay to mess up. Like, not have the answers. Like, go through the struggle. Go through the struggle, because at the end of the day, like I told you guys a little my story, how I did with business, and how, like my little short story time I gave you guys, like that really happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I went through the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have gave up and said, you know what, I'm Fabio. I didn't get my account in the first 60 days. But, and I'm coming back to this because it's very important for you guys to stay motivated. Like it's very, very important. I really want you guys to get the account because look, I can't get every account USA or Canada. You know what I'm saying? I would love to monopolize the industry and get all the accounts, right? And everybody got to go through me. I would love for that to be the case. But the industry is such a huge industry that would never be the case. I would never have all of the accounts in your area, right? I probably would never even get contracts in your area. The only way I would probably get contracts in your area if I decided to relocate to your area like I did Ohio, Michigan, uh, Georgia, Virginia, right? I just decided to move to those places because I visited, I liked it. I said, shit, I'm moving here. 3 months after, I was like wherever the spot that I wanted to go. I went in Houston. That's a story time within itself. I stayed in Houston. I hurry up and hauled ass because I wasn't getting the count fast enough. And I felt like I'm Fabio Hart. Why isn't this not working in Houston? I just don't think I stayed in motion long enough. I gave up in Houston. I said, hell no, I'm not about to do Houston. It's not working for me, right? But I just got so accustomed where it felt like it was coming easy that when it wasn't, I hauled ass. I said, no, I'm not, I'm not doing this. But I want you guys, again, if it's not working in you guys' area, don't be scared to switch positions like I did. And you might not even have to go to another state. Just go to another county in your area. If you're in a small town, go to a big town. If you're in a big town, go to a smaller town, right? Go to another big city. If you're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, then go to Kenosha, right? Go, wherever, right? So all I'm saying is, it's opportunity everywhere, and don't let the lack of opportunity or the lack of traction just stagnate you in one area. Branch out. If you got, there's nothing wrong with it. A nice move. It might be better for you and your family. I talk to people from Facebook and also YouTube all the time. And they're like, man, I think I'm going to have to move because I'm not getting on. Go ahead. Go move. Move. If it takes for you to move to build traction, it can be worth the while. That's part of your story. Every entrepreneur got a story. Everybody got a story. And that could be part of your story. You know what? I was looking at this guy on YouTube, man. He really motivated me. Man, I was really scared to step out of my boundaries. I was really scared to leave the Chi. I was scared to leave Chirac, Chicago. But man, I had to do it. So I said, shit, what the hell? And I went to Florida. Or I went to New Orleans. Or whatever the case is. You might not be able to do it just like that, but you can strategically do it. You can plan it out. I don't believe in the word I can't, Frederick. That's one thing you're going to learn about me real quick. I can't and impossible. Somebody I done seen the impossible become possible so many times. I used my auntie. She had breast cancer in both breasts more than 30 years ago. She's still here. She cured herself. What I mean by that, my auntie took it upon herself to start researching what caused breast cancer, and she figured if she can get to the root of what caused breast cancer, that she can cure it in some way. But what she started doing is reaching out, and she ordered something from overseas. It was like a herb from overseas, from I think it wasn't Japan, it was China. It was one of those places. Took it for I think like 2 months or a month and a half or 2 months. She went back to her doctor, and her doctor told her she didn't have it no more, and then asked her what did she do, and she did not tell the doctor what she did because she said she was not going to tell the doctor, not because she didn't want the doctor to know, but she felt like the doctor would not share that information with any other breast cancer patient. He will withhold that information and continue to do, whatever therapies and medications and prescriptions and chemo and all of that, and my auntie is still here today, cancer free. That was more than 30 years ago, and I'm 35. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. She works out. She's probably stronger than me. Like, she hit the gym and she drink water, and this is on my mother's side, right? The Pakistani side. My mom is Pakistani, you guys. So I'm saying all this to say, I don't tell me about I can't. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve if only the mind take action. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve only if the mind take action. Only if you take action. I see you, Gobi. I'm gonna get back to you. So I don't believe in the impossible, because there was a lot of people that count my auntie out more than about 30 years ago, right? And the thing is that right now we got all state of the art. It was worse way back then, right? It was race because we didn't have all of the technology that we have and the certain medications and stuff. So she had it worse. But doing her own research, and she still got all that paperwork. She did research, libraries, research, this and this, and whatever this herb was she took, she ordered it from overseas. They imported it into America. She took the herb based on her research, and she's been cancer free. And she did that for like a month and a half. Took whatever that herb was. So I don't believe in the impossible, and that's just one example. That's just one example. You know, I got a lady right here on YouTube. She's in a wheelchair. She's I won't say her name, but she's paralyzed waist down. Watch my videos all the time. Running her cleaning business. She's up $11,000 monthly revenue, monthly billing. People tell her it's impossible. You're not mobile enough. How are you going to be able to get to the accounts? How are you going to do door to door? All you can do is do the phones. She have a son and she have a daughter. And that's who she go out with and help, they go out together as a team of hers going door to door because she want to be a part of it. She didn't let her handicap deaden her dream and her goals to be in business for herself. Some folks can't branch out. I won't say it's impossible. I disagree. You can do whatever the mind can conceive and believe. I like to use this example all the time. If I said I got $5,000 to the first person that can get to Detroit to get to me, and I'm going to give you $5,000 cash, somebody will make it to Detroit to get $5,000. Right? Whether they call off work, whether they borrow whatever the bus ticket is going to cost, the train ticket, or the airfare, they're going to pay the $400. Why? They like, shit, I'm going to pay $400 for a one-way ticket because I'm about to go and get $5,000. I'm about to hit a lick. Right? So, again, there's no excuse you can give me, my friend. There's no excuse ever. There's absolutely no excuse why anybody on my subscription list cannot be successful in this industry. No excuse. No impossible. No, I can't. I don't like that word. I can't. I can. I will. I must. I can. I will. I must. That's courtesy of Eric Thomas, by the way. I want to give credit where it's due. That's where I got that from. I can. I will. I must. I can. I will. I must. When you program the subconscious mind to say I can't, guess what, you can't. Because that's what you program your mindset to be. Okay? Take you back to 2012 when I first started my business. I could have said I can't do this because I didn't get my first account in the first 60 days, and that was my intention. But I pressed towards. I moved forward. So what I thought I was going to get in 60 days, I got in 90 days. But what would happen if I would have stopped at 60 days and say, oh, this shit ain't for me. I didn't get this account. Right? We would not be having this conversation right now. Because 9 times out of 10, I probably went back to work. I probably wouldn't be in a position. Okay? So I'm telling you, Frederick, it can happen. You have to change your mindset. Whatever you're going through, we don't have to talk about your personal problems or whatever going. I'm not gonna even ask you about it. You know whatever you going through. But if you strategically plan for something, like if you strategically plan for your business, your business will be successful. Cardi B, people counting her out. I love her story. I'm a Cardi B fan. I love her, right? Because she was a stripper hoe, as she liked to say. She called herself that, right? So she was a stripper hoe that was just doing real videos on Instagram, and she got popping off of Instagram. Once that happened, she was on hip hop or whatever the little show was. She was on the whatever that show was, right? The ladies know I didn't keep up with that, right? From there, she told herself that she wasn't going to do that. She wanted to do rap. She always wanted to do rap. That's what she said in her little interviews. I always knew I could be a rapper. But people told me because I was a stripper that I'd never be a rapper because I'm Dominican and I talk funny and I look a certain way. That I'm ghetto and I'm ratchet and I'm hood. That I'd never be a rapper. And right now, she the number one rapper in the United States, hands down. You know what I'm saying? But what happened? People was counting her out. She was getting disrespected at the strip clubs. People was counting her out. They didn't believe in her music. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying all of this to say that, man, look, don't say you can't, because eventually you won't, because you're programming your subconscious mind by saying I can't. You know, you programming yourself. That's like a lie you're telling yourself. You're telling yourself a lie, and eventually you're going to believe that lie. And that is a lie when you say I can't. You can. Never, right, never give up. Never give up. My biggest problem is finding employees. Let me see here. Gobi, I'm sorry, Gobi. Finding employees. Subcontractors that actually have some room to put employees in. Contracts at the grocery store is paying at $11 to $12 an hour. Any suggestions sound like? You might be paying them a little bit too much. You might have to cut down. What's the minimum wage there? Start them off at minimum wage and then work their way up. Start there. All right, and you know, put two to a market, two to a store. You know, two people, depending on what it is that you actually have to do. You have to try a few things as an entrepreneur, as a business person. You have to try a few things. If it works, use it. If it don't work, then get rid of it. You see what I'm saying? But you'll find a way, trust me. But you might be, I think maybe $11, $12 might be a bit much, unless that's what the minimum wage is. You can't pay anybody, it's illegal to pay anybody less than whatever the state minimum wage is, okay? So I'm not sure what area you're in and what the minimum wage is in your area, but you might want to pay a minimum wage, and then once they deserve to be bumped up to $11 or $12, whatever the case is, after they stay with you for a certain significant amount of time and show a sense of loyalty to you, then you can pay them a little bit more. Also with their work ethic, you know, as long as they show up, they do a great job, you don't get any complaints, things of that sort. Okay? So I want to see you guys win, man. I just want to see you guys win. You know, I got 1,000,001 stories that, not a problem. $1,000,001 stories I could tell you guys, but again, you guys, you have to believe in yourself, man. You have to believe. Like with me, no one was telling me that, Fabio, you can do it. So I relied upon the likes of Anthony Robbins. This was before E.T. Eric Thomas. He's relatively new. Jim Rohn, Napoleon Hill, Andrew Carnegie, W. Clement Stone. You know, all of these, Les Brown, all of these motivational guys. Like, I relied upon them to give me encouragement. And that's when, you know, audio tapes, you know, with the tape player, you put the tape in, or the CD with the Walkman. I would just, man, I still got all of these CDs, Napoleon Hill, all of this stuff. I still refer back to that stuff. That stuff is powerful. And it worked for me because I didn't have nobody in my ear to tell me I could do something. So I relied on the likes of Tony Robbins and Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill, to help keep that motivation. Now, I listened to that stuff religiously. I fell asleep listening to it. I woke up listening to it. But I took action. It took me a minute. It took me a minute. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a minute. But I just got tired of being tired. I got tired of my money dwindling down. I didn't have no money. My pride was getting in the way. You know, gotta ask somebody to help me out, and then they gotta give you a lecture before they help you out, and all of this shit. Like, so I just like, man, I had made bad investments with other business. I thought I was Donald Trump before my time with my vitamin business. I should have reinvest that, but no, I didn't do that. I had girlfriends, and I'm back. That's when Guess used to be in style, and Coach purses and all of that, Coach bags and Guess the jean hookup and all of that. It was in fashion way back then. But I'm thinking like, I got this money coming through. Just making bad investments, not reinvesting back into my business. You know what I'm saying? So with the little money that I did have, I'm sorry, you guys, little money that I did have, I had to make do. You know what I'm saying? I had to really make do. I had to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry I went incredibly long with this video. I had no idea I'll be sitting here for like 3 hours. It's 20 minutes. Talk to you guys, but that's the passion behind this. Yeah, my employees is damn near clearing out. Yeah, working for paycheck to paycheck gets old. It gets old, man. And if you guys, need like any motivation, man, just it's some people that be like, bro, I need to talk to you, bro. Just email me. Email me a number. Just, if I could talk to you over the phone, and it might be something that I could say that Spike that you don't get here online, that you would get from me personally talking to you. Email me your number. At my earliest convenience, I'll call you. BookFabioHart@gmail.com. If you want me to look at your contracts, your this, your that, your flyer, whatever the case is, email it to me. I don't know everything. I'm gonna tell you guys now. I don't know. I'm not the king of cleaning and this and that. I help you to the best of my ability. I'm gonna only get you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything. I can't guarantee you a contract just because I looked it over, or I can't guarantee, if you join my service or you utilize my contract, that you won't get sued. I can't guarantee you that. I can't even guarantee myself that. But what I will say, with the resources that I have, I'm willing to help you guys out. You know what I'm saying? Some things is gonna come at a price when dealing with me. I no longer handle a lot of phone calls over the phone, because I realize when I tell people stuff to try to help them, they don't do anything with that information, and I feel like I always hate when I feel like I waste my time. So if I don't get a vibe that you're serious, I will have my assistants tell you have to get the coaching or something like that, where it's going to cost you $75 an hour. But for the most part, I don't. If you just need a set of motivation, or you just have a quick question or something, bam, you can call me. I give it to you. If you want me to take a look at your contract, send it over. If it's something that you missing, I'll tell you. I'll type it back, or have her type it back, and so you will know what you're missing, so you can add that to it. If you want me to take a look at your invoice, your estimate, or whatever the case is, you're trying to close on a deal, you're not sure if your number's right, I could try my best to help you close. I've helped a lot of people close on their deals or whatever. Again, I just can't guarantee, just because you call me and I talk to you, that I'm going to be able to close your deal. But I would try my damnness to help you close the deal. That makes sense. Okay? So again, it's bookfabiohart@gmail.com. BOOKFABIOHART @gmail.com. BOOKFAB like boy, IOHART @gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I see my employees starting to move out. I just kind of want to catch some of them before. I love you more. I love you more. I want to catch some of you, catch my employees before they leave out. I'm kind of looking at the cameras here. I see some of them that left, a couple of them that left. It looked like I got one left. Yeah, it looked like I got one left. But yeah, man, if you guys need me, again, book Fabio Hart. whatever you need, put in the subject line, whatever that is, and my assistant, Jasmine, she's pretty quick in getting back. If you need to talk to me, I don't personally email back. I'm letting you guys know that now. You're going to be dealing with my assistant. But if you need to talk, then leave the number and I will personally give you a call back and try to see what it is you need help with or whatever the case is. Okay? Email once again is bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's BOOK. F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART @gmail.com. Okay? Whatever you want me to take a look at, if it's something that you want to purchase from me, let me know, man. If the money is tight or something like that, I might be able to give you some give on something. All right. I don't push anything on you guys. Whatever you guys need, I'm gonna try to help you. Okay. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that can ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. You guys take care. Be safe, and I'll talk to you shortly.